Good afternoon. I'm Frankie Castile, and we are live here on Facebook and on YouTube. And it is our first collaboration of our severe weather coverage. Also joining us is Steve Seawright. He is the co-director of the Poplar Bluff Severe Weather Response Team, and we are going to be giving you wall-to-wall coverage here of severe storms as they are now starting to come in from the west. The entire region is now outlined under a severe thunderstorm watch, and that watch, it is good until 9 p.m. this afternoon. We are talking about hailstones possibly as big as between golf balls and tennis size hail in the more severe storms. Also, we are talking about wind gusts possibly up to 70 miles an hour. Right now, no warnings officially in our area. However, as you can see, we've got some severe storms just to the west of Ripley County. And Steve Seawright, I believe you can hear me. You're with me. And thank you again for joining us on this Thursday afternoon. Well, I hope Steve can hear me anyway. So right now, as you can see on your screen, we've got severe storms just to the west of Donovan, and currently no severe weather warnings right now, but that severe storm, it is riding the Missouri-Arkansas state line, and we do expect possibly a warning at some point to be issued. I've been going back and forth now, looking at the Weather Service office and making sure that they have not, they are discussing this as we speak. Also, if you don't mind, on the video chat, just make sure with it being our first live stream, the way we are doing things, it's completely new. Do me a favor and let us know in the chat comments if you can hear us okay. Tyler Mathis, I appreciate that, my friend. Good luck this afternoon. I think you guys might actually, it's going to be dicey down there in Northeast Arkansas, but good luck for sure coming up this afternoon. Nothing right now from the Weather Service office in Paducah. Just let us know in the video chat comment section if you can hear everything okay. That'll be the main thing, just making sure that the audio is coming in nice and clear. Also, if you don't mind, hit that share button for us as well. We want to make sure that you guys can hear us. And also, we've got a storm track here on this storm right now in Ripley County that you can see on your screen. It'll be, if it holds together, this severe storm will be in Donovan at around 319, Naylor in around 341, so about 40 or so miles away from that area. If it holds, Poplar Bluff at about 407, also Piggott, Arkansas at around 426, and then Fisk 426 as well. It'll be in the Campbell area at around 436. Dudley coming in at 438. Malden at 447. And Clarkton at 448. Bernie, it'll be on your back doorstep coming up also at around 448 as well. So that is the storm that we are tracking right now. And the main thing is, it is going to be packing. We're talking about potentially just got another severe thunderstorm warning that's coming in for northeastern Wayne County as we speak. So we have multiple storms that we are tracking for you. Also one, as you can see there, just to the west of Van Buren. Not a warning as of right now. However, we do anticipate more warnings to come in as we go throughout your afternoon. And because of that, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch that is in effect for the entire region. And good deal. So everybody can say the audio is coming in. That's awesome. Thank you so much. There's one issue that I'm having on my end, and I will figure that out as we go. That is, I'm not able to see the comments. Well, you know what? I say I can't see the comments. I might be able to see the comments in real time. There we go. So yeah, I can see the comments. I was on the wrong screen. So I've got the comments up and I can see the comments coming in. If you have any questions, make sure that you let us know. Also, hit that share button. We want to make sure that we reach as many folks as we can. Today, it is our first live stream doing this together, and we are so excited to do this. We're collaborating together, so we are excited that we are able to collaborate together, and myself along with Steve Seawright with the Poplar Bluff Severe Weather Response Team.
I can hear you now, Frankie.
There we go. So I was wondering what happened to you, but now I got you. So I was just telling folks that it's our first live stream together. I'm Frankie Castile. He is Steve Seawright, co-director of the Poplar Bluff Severe Weather Response Team. It is our first collaboration together, Steve, and it could be a stormy afternoon coming up.
It's looking like it. Yeah, we've got a couple of hot cells here going north of Greenville, Zelma area past Zelma. Like they're back a little bit of punch. Probably some hail in those, but this one down here is the one we're looking at. Let me take my screen live real quick. There we go. This one coming through Thayer. It's looking like it's going to pack a pretty big punch, and it's moving east, kind of southeast, around 40 miles per hour.
Looking at some of the reports coming in from the Weather Service office in Paducah, looks like a storm that has just crossed over northeastern Wayne County. It was the lead storm. It has strengthened somewhat, so they're watching that very carefully. Haven't seen anything out of Paducah on the storm that we are currently watching right now. That is what Steve has up on the screen right now.
That's the velocity scan right there from that storm. Nothing really in particular to look at this time on the velocity scan. I'm not too terribly worried about that, but we're worried about hail in that particular. I'll try to pull up the hail here in just a second. We'll get a good look at it.
All right, Steve, I'm going to let you take over as we got a new severe thunderstorm warning that has just came across. Stand by for all the information.
All right, so I'm going to try to pull up the hail core here real quick, and we'll see. Let's see here. The probability of severe hail in this. There's a significant hail core just east of Thayer. And again, these are moving about 40 miles an hour east, southeast. So it looks like it's probably going to try to skirt the state line.
There we go.
Grab.
So right now, what I'm going to do is right now, Steve, while you're doing that, I'm going to get the information out there on the severe thunderstorm warning. Currently, ping pong size hail and winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. It is a severe thunderstorm warning for southwestern Ripley County in southeast Missouri until about 3:15. At 2:29, a severe thunderstorm was located at 10 miles northwest of Dalton, or about 13 miles east of Mammoth Springs. Very slow mover at 35 miles an hour going to the east. Also, we are talking about radar indicated ping pong size hail and 60 mile per hour wind gust. That is what the radar is showing right now. The main locations in this storm as of right now, it is the Gatewood area. So if you know somebody who lives in that area, need to make sure that or try to be indoors, as we are talking about particularly ping pong size hail. And Steve, if you want to jump in at any point in time, the main hail core, as you can see there on the screen, it is that purplish color. It is riding currently the Missouri-Arkansas state line. I know you've got some stuff pulled up on this storm. You can see the hail tracker that Steve has.
Yeah, I just did a storm track here. That storm is still moving. The last time it updated was about 36 miles per hour. It looks like it's going to ride the line. So we're still looking at Piggott about 444, Kennett about 503, if it holds together.
And right now, it looks like this storm, it kind of weakened somewhat, Steve, as it crossed over Howe County. But then once it got into Oregon County, especially getting into the eastern parts of Oregon County and now going into Wayne County, it really is showing no signs of a weakening. What screen are we looking at right now,
So
Steve?
we're looking at the probability of severe hail. You can see that's 99.2% probability of severe hail in that storm. That's east of Thayer. So that'll do a little bit of damage to your vehicle. You might want to get your vehicles under cover. And like Frankie said earlier, get indoors. You should definitely don't want to be outside if it's hailing golf ball size or well, you don't want to be out in any hail, but I'd say golf ball size is going to give you injury.
Absolutely. And
It's
right
not a
now,
good deal.
these are going to be the main threats with these storms as they come in. Today is going to be the potential of seeing possibly some very large hail, also some damaging wind gust as well. I will tell you, we're getting a lot of comments here coming in. I'm going to try to get to some of these comments here. A lot of folks are wondering about the Donovan area as well. By the
Let me see
way,
if I can
while
pull
you're
up a storm track while you're
okay, while you're
talking.
doing that, I was going to say that make sure we do have our text line going on as well, presented by our good friends at Barker's Towing and Auto Repair. If you want text alerts to your phone on severe storms, text the word news to 573-785-3838, 573-785-3838. And of course, our production today, once again, it's being brought to you by our good friends at PB Realty and Legacy Farm and Land Specialist. And they are a huge supporter of what we do. So we appreciate everything they are doing as well to make sure that we are able to bring this broadcast to you right now, just the ones in southern Ripley County. Go ahead, Steve.
In the comments, you're looks like about 347 if, and I use that if loosely. If this keeps tracking along the state line, you may just barely get tipped. It's not likely unless it builds further north that you're going to see much out of that. It's just going to, but somewhere around 347 to 350 is a rough estimate to Donovan.
So right now, just the main threats are going to be the large hail, and we're talking bigger than quarter size hail, ping pong size hail right now is going to be the threat that we are looking for in the southern parts of Ripley County. I am on the currently right now chatting with the Weather Service out of Paducah to kind of get some guidance on this particular storm. Right now, Steve, nothing coming in from the Weather Service, but as you can see on radar, that hail core still is showing no signs of weakening. Currently, it is riding that Arkansas-Missouri state line. I do think the most severe part of this storm, if it holds together, I do think that it's going to miss the Donovan area. Not saying Donovan won't get some rainfall and maybe some gusty winds, but right now, I think, Steve, the bulk of the severe weather might just stay to the south of Donovan. Is that what you're seeing right now?
That is correct. And I'm looking at the comments. Ashley Childers is asking what time it's going to hit Dexter. At this point, there's not a cell anywhere remotely close to Dexter that's moving in that direction. So we'll have to play that one by ear. I'd say right now you're in the clear. And I use that term loosely because there's no storms back to your west at this time.
And we have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning, so stand by for details. All right, a brand new severe thunderstorm warning now coming in. This one is for northern Carter County in southeast Missouri. It's until 3:15. At 2:33, a severe storm was located near Fremont or 11 miles west of Van Buren. This one is moving east at about 35 miles an hour. We're talking at 60 mile per hour wind gust and $half size hail. Hail damage to vehicles is expected. Expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Areas to really pay attention to this storm are going to be Van Buren and Fremont. So those are the locations right now that we do see that's in play. We've got two severe thunderstorm warnings now. One is for the northern tip of Carter County, and then the other one is going to be in southern Ripley County. And looking at both storms, Steve, it looks like, I know it's saying that the one in Carter County is moving due east, but on radar, it seems to be going more toward the northeast. And if that is the case, I think that Van Buren might be spared the majority of the worst weather.
That's correct. And actually, let me put my screen real quick. I've got the HRR, which is high. What's it stand for, Frankie?
High resolution.
Refresh, something or another.
Yeah, high
anyway,
resolution.
That is a highly accurate model, and shame on me, I should know what it is. So let's run through this real quick. This is the HRRR model. This is around depicted about 4 p.m. tonight. If you look up here, there's a couple of storms going through Marble Hill. They've shifted the last couple of model runs have shifted stuff a little bit north. So we're going to go on through this. If you'll look at the time at the top, Frankie, it says 5 p.m. That's what the area looks like around 5 p.m. And this will change with the next model run, of course, and model runs after that. But this is where it stands right now. 5 p.m., 6 p.m. By about 7 p.m., it's going to be out of the area all the way to the east, and looks like we'll be in the clear sometime around 11 or 12 midnight. You'll see another little splash of rain comes through, but nothing major. So right now, we back this back up. We're looking between, if it holds together and stays as it's being depicted at this time, as advertised, it will be around 5 p.m. when the Butler County and the counties to the west, Carter and Ripley, will see some action.
And the way it's looking right now, this could be a longer afternoon than first anticipated. By the way, make sure if you're don't mind if you're watching us on Facebook, watching us on YouTube, on Facebook, hit that share button. Also tag some folks in the comment section. Want to make sure that we reach as many people as we can. Also, if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We want to do our best here to reach as many people as possible. We see that storm. I want to utilize something here, Steve. Here is our weather cam that is off to the west of Neelyville, looking right west of Neelyville. You can see there. Tell the folks at home or that are watching wherever they might be watching at, tell them what we're looking at here on screen.
This is the Neelyville school system, and we've got a nice tower up there, and you're looking back to the storm cell that's pointed back to the southwest towards there, and so you're kind of seeing that approaching storm. You're seeing the cloud tops there, so it's far enough off that we'll get a real good view of it coming in as it comes through. But as I was saying earlier, I do believe it's probably going to skirt the state line. So we'll have to see how far north it advances. And then I'm also looking at the storm cell there on your screen near Van Buren. Now those two might join together, and we might end up forming a line.
We'll have to wait and see if that happens. So you can see there on your screen. Let me back this out just a little bit here. There we go. You can see several different warnings. We've got warnings to the north. Also, we've got the warning around the Van Buren area. This one, I'm going to zoom back into this one because I think the majority of the worst of the weather is going to be to the northeast, or make that northwest rather, of Van Buren. You can see that purple there, and that is showing you that we have some pretty good hail right now. Steve, if you want to switch over to one of your screens that you got access to, we can get the maybe the size of the hail on this particular storm that is northeast of Van Buren. I'm sure folks would love to see that.
Come up with there for you real quick.
While you're doing that, I'm going to check the Weather Service office in Paducah. I want to see what they're saying on this storm, also the storm to our south as well. While we're waiting for that to come up, Advance has been confirmed that possibly golf ball size hail just went through the Advance area. That's a few minutes ago. That was a storm that hit northern Stoddard County. So go ahead, Steve, take it away.
So we got it pulled up here. This is the once again, this is the storm cell. It's east of Thayer. It's riding a state line. If you can see that, I don't know if you can see that on your screen. Looks like about 2.5-inch hail in the middle of that hail core there, approaching Myrtle. If it keeps on going, it's going to just ride that state line. That's pretty good size right there. That'll definitely run your car.
Absolutely. And we're going to watch that. These are the storms that we are watching very carefully as they move in from the west.
I'm going to sneak here to the Van Buren storm real quick. It looks like maybe about an inch, just a little over an inch. And that is being now, this is not true, by the way, this is just radar estimates. We have to make that clear that, and we'll have to check with Paducah and see if they've got any reports of hail in this storm right here. But the radar is estimating about an inch.
So an inch hail is radar indicator right now. That's the storm in Carter County. Still waiting for an update. Haven't gotten one yet from Paducah on the storm that Steve has zoomed into now near Myrtle. And that is that hail core we've talked about for quite some time. It has really shown no signs of weakening from what we can see. And that might be the
No, if
case
anything, it's
going
growing.
forward. Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say, make sure in the video comments section, if you happen to live in Oregon County, maybe you live in Ripley County, make sure and let us know what you are seeing right now. We're getting some reports coming in from the
Frankie,
Gatewood
there was
area.
a comment. Yeah, I was going to say there's a comment from Robbie Freeman. How County Emergency Management was reporting 1-inch hail out of that storm cell that just went through.
So there you go. So I was actually reading that. They're saying ping pong size. Robbie Freeman said Howe County reported 1-inch size hail. Let's see here. Also, we've got some reports coming in. It's hailing in Billmore and lots of lightning and thunder back toward the Gatewood area. So that's that storm that we were watching here that is in south, or I should say it's going to be getting into the southern parts of Ripley County. Look at that hail core there, Steve, as it's making its way into eastern Oregon County. It is not weakened at all the last several frames.
Here pretty soon, we should be able to get a good, clear picture of that on our Neelyville cam.
And we'll be happy to pull that up as soon as that
Craig
storm.
Metter is listening. Craig, if you could pop that back around to the west.
We got a good shot of it here. You can see the cloud cover. You can see the storms coming in. So definitely it's getting darker in that area. And yeah, that'll be a great look at that storm as it comes in from the west. We've got some other cameras. Matter of fact, Steve, you take over because Craig Metter's calling me right now.
All right, I'll do that. Let's look and see. Let's check this out, Corey. I'll pull you up here. It looks like it's still moving east. Let's see if there's been any change in the speed. Looks like in that warning, they're still looking at 60-mile-an-hour winds. Of course, radar indicated. Been no ground truth to that. Damage is expected. Advertised is actually occurring. Hopefully Craig is listening to us and can swing that camera around.
Yeah, I just told him to swing that camera to the west, and he was going to work on that as we speak.
All right, going back to your radar Omega screen there for a second.
I'm just impressed with how these storms, I mean, as you said earlier on, they're tapping into the heat, the humidity, or not really the humidity, but the fuel that they're going to need to blossom. And I want to look at another tower cam that's going to be to the northwest, or I should say south of Poplar Bluff here, Steve. Tell me if you can see that on your screen, and tell me where this weather camera is located at.
That one looks like it's down around the Harville area. We've got a tower cam down in Harville, and it too is pretty good ways up on a tower, so we'll have a good vantage point of the distant storms. And with it being a southern camera, we should have a pretty view of that storm that's going to be coming into the Donovan area in the next little bit.
So we're going to watch that very carefully as well. And I'm having trouble on my end. I'm seeing some of the comments here. So if I don't get to you right away, just be patient with me. It's our first live stream collaborating together. And for those who don't know, Steve and I pretty much, we upgraded pretty much all of our equipment, Steve. And this is what you're going to get now going forward. It's only going to get better. It's our first stream together. I like one of your screens you've got up right there. So if you want to take it full screen, and I believe you got the velocity on.
We were looking at the velocity scan. So you're going to see some winds in this area right here where this red is against this bright green. That doesn't mean rotation. That's pretty much winds. And I would say that those are not quite 60-mile-per-hour winds, but the radar is thinking based on what it sees that it's estimating. So that's just a kind of a visual of the wind activity in that.
By the way, just got confirmation this storm has already moved out of the Advance area. However, we do have confirmation now that Advance did receive golf ball size hail a few moments ago. Also, wow. Let's see here. Hang on one second there, Steve-O. I'm getting some information. Okay, not going to be for our area. I was looking at the storms coming out of Oregon County into Ripley County, and it seems as if they are watching that storm very closely as well for the potential for the high winds. So I'm looking at that very carefully to see if I don't believe they're going to upgrade this severe thunderstorm warning, although you might see a possible tornado tag on that storm. Go back to the velocity real quickly on that storm, if you don't mind.
Right.
I'm not seeing any kind of rotation unless you are, but I am seeing possibly
I'm
some
not,
very
and
gusty winds.
if you look at where my, cursor is at, some of these winds are only pushing about 10 to 15 miles an hour in the red. So they're gusting a little bit. Not quite what we would consider severe thunderstorm winds, but the radar seems to think there are, so they issue a warning based on what the radar is. The algorithms that the radar is spitting out, they issue their warnings based on that.
Can we go up to, let me pan up to, I'm going to take it just for 1 second, Steve. I'm going to take it to the radar Omega for just a moment. Some folks are asking about the storm. It's getting closer now to the Piedmont area and Mill Springs area. That is that storm
Okay.
that we were tracking earlier on. It's a severe thunderstorm warning for northern, or I should say, portions of Carter County, also a very small portion of Wayne County. I do think Piedmont, though, if it stays with its current trajectory, I think Piedmont will be in line for this storm. And once again, it is not showing any signs of weakening from what we can see.
So I brought up the hail size estimates here on the radar. Again, these are estimated by the radar, but you'll see it's intensifying. Earlier, the storm we checked on it, it was just a little over an inch. Now we're looking at over an inch and a half to an inch and 3/4, possibly. Looks like maybe 1.35 or 1.65 is the max in that one right there.
So yes, it's going to get. These storms are really not. They're not weakening. They're only going to get stronger as the day goes on. Unfortunately, I think, Steve, this is really the beginning of what could be a pretty long afternoon. Hopefully, we can escape this without getting any kind of major damage out of this. But I will say that by looking at the hail core, it's starting to get to the Ripley and Oregon County line. I'm starting to see some white showing up around the purple, which means the hail size could be, according to this radar, could be a little bit bigger than ping pong size hail.
Exactly right. Here's a new storm track for that, about 35 miles per hour to the east. 5 Des Arc about 346, Greenville about 357.
So there is a new track on that storm that we are looking at just northwest of Piedmont. Piedmont, you should be inside your safe area at around before 335. Also Des Arc at around 346, and Greenville, as Steve said, 357. So it would not surprise me a bit if we've seen more possibly severe storm warnings issued on those storms as it is starting to move out. Now, there is another storm that is starting to fire up just west of Piedmont, Steve. It's sub-severe at this point. However, it is in an area where we could see an upgrade at any point in time. Still don't have any updates on the storm out of going into Ripley County. Let me see about the storm in Oregon County. As of right now, just some hail around ping pong size is what they're saying right now is being shown on radar. Nothing as far as strong winds. So right now, the two storms that we're watching very carefully is going to be the storm to the north of Van Buren and to the southwest of Donovan. And as of right
I
now,
want to take you full screen there, Frankie, for
all
just a
right,
second.
go ahead and take me full
Get some
screen.
stuff in the background here.
And I'm going to,
See if I can
while
get some
you're
information
doing
on that other storm.
while you're doing that, I'm going to go back to one of our cameras that is just around the Neelyville school district. You see the wind moving that camera a little bit. This is looking back toward that storm that is going into Ripley County as we speak. That storm will be impacting your area. If it stays on its current course, it will be impacting southern Butler County here before too much longer. Let me look at the camera that is along Highway 160 looking back toward Donovan. As of right now, you can still see a little bit of blue skies. However, that's going to be changing as this storm continues to move off to the east. And let's see if we have any new updates on this storm. And it looks like we do not. So this is the latest information that we have. We're talking about winds around 60 miles per hour. Ping pong size hail is going to be what we're talking about with this storm. So keep that in mind as we continue to watch these storms. And I'm getting very concerned about the storms that are up around the northern parts of Wayne County, around Piedmont, Mill Spring area. Those are the areas just to the
For sure.
northwest
And
of
I've actually
Elsinore.
I've got a new storm track ready for you, Frankie.
All right, so this is that new storm track here on the storm out of the just west of Piedmont. So Piedmont at around 3:53, so a little little less than an hour away from now. Also Greenville coming up at 4:25, Zelma at 5:16, and then Marquand at around 5:18. And once again, the biggest threats are going to be the hail. And right now, let me see if there's any, while you're doing that, let me see if there's any. So the Weather Service office is still showing, well, this one just came out about 2:51. So I'll tell you what, Steve, for just 1 minute, let's go full screen here on the Radar Omega for just 1 second.
Okay.
At 2:51, a severe storm was located near Van Buren. It's moving. This one is moving now northeast at 25 miles an hour. We're talking wind speeds of 60 miles per hour, and this storm does have a quarter-size hail. Locations are going to be impacted right now. It is going to be the northern side of Van Buren, but I will tell you, as Steve had that track on this storm, if you live in Piedmont, you live in the Mill Spring area just to the northwest of Elsinore, maybe not so much Elsinore with this storm, but definitely the Mill Spring area, Piedmont area. And I'm going to say, even though there's no warning in effect, if you live anywhere in this area, definitely should be paying attention to this storm, as it could see winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, as well as a quarter-size hail. But it would not surprise me at all if we did not see the hail size possibly get increased, as we're seeing those storms really pop off. It's a great shot there with the velocity that you can see on your screen.
Yeah, I'll pull you a lot to scan here. There's not a whole lot to look at in there, but that does give you an idea of if there's rotation or not. There is no rotation in that cell to be seen, so nothing to worry about at this time. Let's go back down here to Donovan. Still not seeing anything really to worry about with the regards to rotation in that storm.
Looking at some of the comments here coming in. So in Donovan right now, you should be in some, and we're getting some comments now that's stating the same thing. Should be seeing some, maybe some light rain, possibly some thunder and lightning coming in. Thankfully, no tornado warnings as of right now, but we do have these severe thunderstorm warnings that are still in effect. And I'm going to look at the Weather Service office here in Paducah just real quickly, and going to kind of see if they are talking about these storms. So far, nothing that we are aware about, although we are getting information on this storm that is in Ripley County. It is right now, it's a high area of concentration. And I'll tell you what, for just 1 second here, Steve, I'm going to put this on the screen. This is coming from the Weather Service out of Paducah. And this is important because that's that cluster of storms that we're watching in Ripley County. And we are talking about tornado potential is very low, but it cannot be ruled out. We're talking possibly hail to the size of hen size, which is about 2 inches. And then, Steve, the big threat could be possibly damaging winds up to 70 miles an hour, and that's coming from the Weather Service out of Memphis, Tennessee.
Absolutely. Let's I'm going to switch back over to my Radar Omega. I've got a thing set up here. This is storm cell attributes, and kind of peek inside and see what's going on in the cell. So you'll see these are moving about 20. They've slowed down a little bit. They were moving about 40 earlier, moving 20 now. So you'll see there's about 100% chance of hail in this particular storm. It says 100% chance of severe hail, and now the radar is estimating 2 3/4 inch hail in that storm, that particular storm. So that one is one that we definitely got to watch. It looks like it's still traveling the state line. We've got an extreme core in that one right there, right near Griswold.
And when you talk about, possibly hail size between 2.5 and 3 inches, now we're getting into a lot larger than golf balls. We're getting closer to possibly that tennis ball size hail.
Absolutely. Life threatening if you're outdoors, and definitely bad for roofs, cars. You're looking at probably significant damage with tennis ball size hail.
Now, remember, this is just, we want to confirm that this is just radar indicated as of right now. The
That's correct.
co-director of the Poplar Bluff Severe Weather Response Team, Craig Metter, he is chiming in, just getting, as of right now, getting some moderate rain to about a mile north of Donovan. So that's coming in as that storm is now starting to come in. I'm going to go ahead, Steve, and on Radar Omega, I want to look at the camera there that is in Neelyville, and it's getting darker by the second. So that's what we're looking at right now with this storm coming in. And as of right now, we do have the potential of seeing some very large hail, which could be destructive hail. So we want to warn folks, if you're outdoors, you want to be inside, because this is no joke on this storm. Not really worried about the tornado threat right now with this storm, but the hail threat could be very significant if this continues to hold. And there's really no big reason to believe that this storm is not going to hold.
That's correct. And if you look at my screen, I'm going to bring it up full. I've done a measurement. That storm, if you need, so it's coming at you. And the storm tracks, the way the storm tracks are showing, the radar is trying to indicate that it's skirting the state line. So there's a really good chance that it could clip enough that you're going to see some pretty significant hail in that.
So I'm watching our chat here. Kaylee Briscoe, if you don't mind, if you're still watching, if you don't mind, let me know the location on what you just said there on the video chat. We'll make sure that we get that passed on, if you don't mind. Also want to remind folks that we are live on YouTube by going to youtube.com/River Radio PB. And if you're watching us on Facebook, make sure and hit that share button for us. We want to make sure that we reach as many folks as we can. And it's going to be a long afternoon as these storms are moving slow, and they are moving off to the east anywhere between 30 and about 45 miles an hour. The individual storms that's up in the Carter County area, those are moving to the northeast as of right now. So pea-size hail is now being reported, Steve. That's going to be on the north side of Donovan. That is confirmed. So we are starting to get some of that pea-size hail that is starting to clip parts of Ripley County as well. Okay, I may have lost Steve. I'm not sure if he is still with me or not. But until we get him back, I'll go ahead and take over. And we're watching these severe storms.
Frank, I'm with you. I took a call from our.
Oh, got you. Okay.
We are. Let me. So you're back up on Radar Omega.
I am.
So when I stepped out, we were looking at the distance. The storm.
Okay, your audio was cutting in and out there. Steve, are you still there?
I'm still with you.
Okay.
Yep.
Say that last thing all over again. You were cutting off. Now you're back.
Yeah, I took a call from our out. So the last thing I remember you saying was we were measuring the distance between the storm cell and Neelyville, and then I had to step away. So I'm just trying to catch up with you.
Oh, I was just talking about right now, the only storms that we have that are moving off to the northeast is the one that's up around Van Buren. And that one, it looks like, is starting to show signs of maybe weakening somewhat. Hopefully that will continue. But the one that we're watching, very concerned about, at least for the hail aspect, is going to be in southwest Ripley County. Let me see if there's any updates on this storm. They're still saying about ping pong size hail. Haven't received any new updates since 2:30 on this one. Steve, if you can, if you don't mind, maybe pull up on let's get a fresh track on this storm. If you don't mind, we'll track this thing out. We'll go due east, and while you're doing that, it's moving east at 35 miles an hour. So we'll get a new track on this storm, and we'll let folks know if you're in these areas, what time that you might see this storm impacting your area. We'll see what the storm tracks has to say.
All right, here we go.
So, new storm track on this one, and you can see that storm still riding the Missouri-Arkansas state line. Naylor at around 435. It's a very slow mover. Corning, Arkansas, around 439, and in Piggott, it'll be around 544. Can you zoom out a little bit on there you go, perfect. As you can see there on your screen, it looks like this storm is going to miss the southern parts. It's going to miss southern, or I should say Poplar Bluff, and it will impact possibly southern Butler County. So I would say Culin, maybe where I live in Brosley. I think those are the areas that could be impacted by this storm, and it's going to take a little while to get out of here because it is moving very, very slow. So that is what we're watching right now. While Steve is doing that, let me go over to the Weather Service office in Paducah, and I just want to make sure that we're not getting anything. Let's see. Well, we did get some reports, not confirmed yet, but this is those storms earlier in the Advance area. We did get some reports now of tennis ball size hail. And that's why the watch was issued earlier, because we could see storms that were up to possibly tennis ball size hail. Steve, if you don't mind, take over for just a moment.
Okay. Yep. So I just did an expanded view of that storm track. Let me pull it back for you. So Corning, if you live in the Corning area, you're going to be looking at about 435, Piggott 551. Campbell on further east is going to be 558, and that's if the storm cell holds together. It looks like it is attempting to hold together. Let's go take a look at this hail core real quick, see if we can get any information out of this. Let me pull up the correct. There we go. Hail size. Let's look at the hail size in this. Get this out of the way.
I was going to say, Steve, it looks like that the hail core really hasn't shrank much. If anything,
it's holding its own, man. It's holding together.
So nothing new. I was watching the Weather Service out of Paducah. By the way, that was Grandma that called me. So when she calls me, no matter what I'm doing, I've got to answer
drop
that phone
everything
call.
For sure.
And I wanted to make sure that she knew she was good and that we were good. But anyway, I was looking at the Weather Service office. Nothing right now in that storm coming out of Ripley County. However, we are watching these storms as they continue to move off to the east very slowly. That's a great map right there.
That gives you an idea of the hail cores and all these storms in the area. That's all hail. And it looks like we've got a couple of new warnings.
Is it for our area?
Let's see here.
Got a storm.
They're just probably just reissuing.
Oh no, there is a new warning. This one's going to be for Wayne County. Stand by for details. All right, so this is a brand new severe thunderstorm warning. If you don't mind, Steve, we'll go full screen here with Radar Omega for just a minute. This one's until 3:45 at 3:02. A cluster of severe storms were located at 6 miles west of Garwood, or about 41 miles southwest of Ironton, all moving east at 25 miles an hour. We're talking wind speeds of 60 miles per hour and quarter-size hail. This is radar indicated. We are looking at Ellington. Also, Garwood is going to be impacted by this cluster. Not to mention, Clearwater Lake Recreation Area is also going to be impacted as well. So that is that cluster of storms that we were watching that's moved through Van Buren, and now the Weather Service has warned Wayne County. We may have another one as well that is adjacent to that one. We do. And this one is for southeastern Reynolds County, which is adjacent to Wayne County. Same storm cluster. Ellington and Garwood are going to be impacted by this storm as well. So two different Weather Service offices, one in Paducah, one in St. Louis, each issuing a warning on these storms that we can see here. And the hail size, we're looking at quarter size hail. So Mill Spring to Piedmont is going to be the areas right now that are going to be impacted by those storms. And I want to go back to the southern part of our area, especially from Donovan down toward the Missouri-Arkansas state line. It looks as if the last couple of frames, Steve, that the hail core size finally is starting to shrink a little bit.
It is. It's starting to behave itself a little bit more. Let's go full screen there for just a second. It is shrinking. We're going to look at the size real quick. The size is mainly staying close to the same, but the actual area, I should say, the size of the hail staying the same. The area itself is shrinking. Let me back this out. I'll give you a broader view. And keep in mind, we're still moving to the east at about 20. They've slowed down a little bit at about 20 miles per hour to the east. So it looks like that hail core, though, is staying right on the state line.
It really is.
If you're north near Donovan, you might have a little small hail, but you're not going to have that big stuff. So,
and I was going to say the leading edge of that storm, believe it or not, if you go back, if you look at the radar, it's starting to make its way into western parts of Butler County, although that part of the storm is not severe. I do have the weather cam pulled up from our friends in Neelyville near the school district, and you can see there just on the right side of your screen there, Steve, it looks like that is where the strongest part of that storm is going to be.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the velocity scan on that. Still, no rotation in that. It just looks gnarly. So far, there's not what we look for, that couplet. There's no couplet in that. So we're still good. The radar will tag them with what we call a tornadic vortex signature TVS, and I'm not seeing any of those tags in any of the storm cell IDs so far.
No, everything so far has just been just because of the hail, which is what we thought was going to happen here today. Let me see if there's a new, if they've given out any new information on this storm, because the Weather Service in Paducah will make a decision here in the next, I would say, 5 or so minutes. This warning will expire coming up at 3:15 this afternoon. So that is the storm that between Success, Arkansas, and about Naylor, that is where the strongest of this storm is going to be. Let me look at another tower cam here. This one is in the Harville area, and you can see it's starting to get darker now. You can see if you're looking at this, if you have the ability on a wider screen than your phone, you might be able to see, Steve, on the very right part of the screen, you might be able to see some of those rain shafts from the storm.
Absolutely, you can if you can dig in, if you can blow it up. And I don't know if Craig's listening, if he can kick that camera around a little ways, but you are starting to see those rain shafts. Let me bring you back over to weather-wise real quick. I drew a new storm path, a new updated storm path for that storm. Looking at about 25 mile per hour now, it looks like. So they've sped up just a hair. You'll see your times if you want to go through those times, Frankie, on the side.
Absolutely. In Naylor, Missouri, 409. Also in Corning at around a 412. In Piggott, Arkansas, 504. Campbell, that is in. Looks like a new warning just has been issued as well. And we'll get to that in just a moment. That's going to be for Northeast Arkansas. Thank you so much. So, yeah, Steve, one of the directors here, Craig Metter, has just moved that camera over, so we'll check that here in just a moment.
Okay.
I was also going to look at, while we're doing that here, I also wanted to take a look at one of our tower cams on PP Highway that is in Butler County. And let's see here. We're going to take that just for 1 second there, Steve. This is our tower cam, and you can see right now nothing going on in Butler County. However, these storms are just to our south. And we'll see if, as of right now, I think the city might be spared from severe storms, at least currently right now. However, it is still very early in the afternoon, and things are likely to change. So keep that in mind. You want to go back to that, you had it pulled up a second ago there, Steve, on the current track. We do have a new warning that just popped up, so stand by for the details. All right, so this one is considered could be a very damaging storm. As you can see there, Steve, they've upped the hail size now to 2 inches more than golf ball size hail. This one is for Ripley County, southern Ripley in southeastern Missouri until 4:15. At 3:10, a severe storm was located near Gatewood, 14 miles southwest of Donovan. It is moving east at 30 miles an hour. 2-inch size hail and wind speeds of 60 miles per hour. We are talking about, if you live in the locations that we are highlighting for you, make sure that you are inside. We're talking Donovan, we're talking Naylor, Gatewood, Oxley, Fair Dealing, and I would even go as far as to say, if you live in western Butler County, be paying attention to this storm. It is for southern Ripley County. The tag on this one, Steve, you can see the damage threat. It says considerable, and that does not happen very often.
It does not. Let's look at this full screen real quick. This is a close-up of that storm. If you'll notice on my radar, that dark color, that's your hail core. That's where the most, that's going to pack the most punch right there. And it still continues to ride that state line. But I would say, like you said, if you're in western Butler, Naylor, Neelyville, just be ready in the next, let's just say the next 20 to 30 minutes. It may be quicker than that. These are moving currently at 25, and I haven't checked it lately if it's slowed down or sped up a little bit, but it's coming at you.
It really is. And if you don't mind, Steve, let's go back to Radar Omega full screen. Thank you, Craig, Metter, one of the co-directors for the Poplar Bluff Severe Weather Response Team. Move that camera for us, and you can see that storm as it's starting to creep in a little bit closer, Steve. So eventually, Neelyville will be in the direct path of this storm as it moves east out of Ripley County. But for right now, if you live anywhere from Donovan down toward Naylor, Fair Dealing, you should make sure that you're inside if you can, especially in the Naylor area, also Fair Dealing area. Try to get your cars to cover and bring stuff in that you don't want to be damaged by hail. Steve, we'll go back to you on your screen with a brand new track there. There we go. So Naylor looks to be getting very close now to about 358. Piggott, Arkansas at 445. Campbell, which is in northern Dunklin County, at 456. Malden at 508. Clarkton, 509. Bernie coming in around 510. And then the Hayti area at 538. New Madrid at around 557 if these storms hold together. And as of right now, Steve, they are doing just that.
Together really well.
They really are. They are not. They are holding together very well. And honestly, in the last couple of frames, if you can, you've got it pulled up too on the screen that you've got. If you can, zoom in on the darker purple areas, because that is where the biggest hail core is. On Radar Omega, it is showing the exact same thing. It's just west of Pointer, and it's riding the Missouri-Arkansas state line.
Well, put it in motion so you can kind of see the progress within the last 7 to 14 frames. It's riding that line.
It really is. And I want to look over to, I'm getting some information coming in from, so we're getting some wind and some hail getting closer now, at least some wind rather, coming in to the Naylor area. Also, we're getting a report now. I can't confirm this just yet, but we're getting reports now of some pea-size hail. That is off of County Road 472, and I believe that's going to be in Butler County. So, Chelsea, if you don't mind, confirm that for me, and then we'll get that passed on to the Weather Service. I know we've missed a lot of comments here, and I do apologize for that.
I'm trying to help you stay on top of them.
No, I appreciate it.
I've only got 2 hands. You've got 2 hands.
Yeah, there's a lot of folks watching. I didn't even see. Yes. We've got over 400 people watching right now in the afternoon. So we're so grateful to have you alongside. Once again, if you don't know, this is our way of helping out the community, myself alongside the great members of the Poplar Bluff Severe Weather Response Team. We're all coming together, Butler County EMA, and we're going to be your one hub that will have severe weather for our communities. And that's why we are doing this, Steve, just to make sure that we pass on information to you directly, and you can always find it right here.
Absolutely. I'm going to step off the air for just a second and check on some information with our storm spotters and see where we stand on activation.
You do that, and I'm going to go back to full screen, if you don't mind, on Radar Omega, and then there we go. So there is the storm right now that we are watching very carefully as it comes in. Just the 2 warnings right now. I want to go back up to the one real quickly, because every time we're on the air, it never fails on what we are doing. Every time that we are on the air, we always end up, having multiple storms, and that's what we're doing here today. So we got 2 storms we're watching out for. We're watching one actually that's just to the east of Greenville, and there's no severe weather warning on it as of right now. We're going to watch it because, as you can see on camera, it's got that purple, and that means these are hail producers. Also just to the west of Mill Spring, Piedmont right now is seeing some of that strong as well, some strong wind gust and some small hail. Also around the Mill Spring area, our biggest concern right now is going to be around the Naylor area. We did get some reports of some hail, also riding the Arkansas-Missouri state line. And I want to go back to the weather camera here in Neelyville. And as you can see, starting to get very close now to the area. So we're going to watch these. I'm actually reporting back to our studio, to Sean back in the studio. He was letting me know about the texting services that we have. Make sure, if you want real-time, up-to-date text on severe weather alerts, just text the word news to 573-785-3838. Steve Seawright currently, he is checking in with the severe weather response team. That is what he is doing, so we'll let him do that. In the meantime, what I want to do is I'm going to try to put a new storm track on this storm that is riding the Missouri-Arkansas state line, and we're going to go due east, and it's riding about 35 to 40 miles an hour. So we're going to speed it up a little bit. We're going to make it 40 miles an hour, and this is a new track on this storm that we have. And we're talking about Naylor. The most severe part of the storm is going to be around 347. Also, Neelyville coming in around 355. And if you live in Culin at 417, St. Francis, Arkansas, also around 426. So even though right now we don't have any weather warnings out for western Butler County, I do think that's going to change. As a matter of fact, let's go back to Radar Omega. Just got a text message of some possible golf ball size hail. I'm going to defer to Craig Metter on that, because I want to make sure. Got a report, Craig, if you're listening in. Got a report to the south of Doniphan along Highway 21 of possible golf ball size hail that's going to be in southern Ripley County with that storm that you see on your screen. And the white color is starting to go away, that really light purplish color, I guess I would say. So hopefully maybe it's weakening somewhat, but I will say around Naylor right now, that's where some of the heaviest weather going to be. I see Steve is back with us. And Steve, I was just saying that I'm getting some reports now just south of Doniphan along Highway 21, getting some reports of golf ball size hail that has reached the ground there, so, or at least fallen from the sky. We're trying to get someone to confirm that, but that just goes to show you that this storm along the Missouri-Arkansas state line, right west of Clay County, Arkansas, between Maynard and Pointer, that is where the most severe part of this storm is right now.
Yeah, that hail core is holding its own. It's staying consistent. Else it might be shading just a hair northward than it was. If you can see this line, it's real light right here. I'm going to try to highlight it. This line right here has shifted. So earlier it was moving east southeast. Now it's moving east northeast. So it's canted northward just a little bit. Looking right at Pointer, it's going to go up through Pratt. If it holds that same trajectory, it'll be in Naylor and Neelyville here probably in the next 20 to 30 minutes.
So while we're doing our severe weather coverage here, I did just get this that I want to mention real quickly here while we're tracking these storms. And this is from the Storm Prediction Center that just came in. And even though we're not outlooked for a major risk of severe storms, this is the tornado outline. It does encompass all of southeast Missouri. The wind is going to be somewhat of an issue. We're talking, 15% chance of seeing some damaging wind. And then right here, Steve, you see the hail, and that's the hatch area of hail as well. So we're talking about 2 inches in diameter, and that's something that we have seen pretty much all afternoon.
Yeah, and we can take that full screen on mine. We can zoom in.
Yes,
this
thank
is
you.
the hail outlook for day one. SPC issues these, and like you said, it's hatched for 2 inches. So it's a pretty good broad area there.
It really is. And this
We-
morning, whenever, I got to work this morning early, we got a new warning coming in now that is just to the west of Clay County, Arkansas. Something else, what you want to explain what that flashing light is? There's that a new meso discussion, I guess.
That's a new meso discussion right there. Let's
Just
click on it,
popped up,
see what
yeah.
it says here.
Let's
I'll
click
take a full
on
screen.
that.
You can read it.
All right. So this is portions of southern Missouri, northern Arkansas. This is concerning the severe thunderstorm watch. It looks like the threat will continue. Large hail and damaging winds continue within this watch area. The storm activity continues to grow. A few discrete supercells have also developed with a history of between 2 inches and 2 3/4 inches in diameter of hail. Given moderate to strong instability, the steep lapse rates across the region from western Missouri into Arkansas to the Mississippi River, expect supercells to continue to pose a threat for large to very large hail over the next couple of hours. So that is what we're really watching for, is going to be the very large hail that we
And
are
that's
seeing
that
with
area
these
right
storms.
there that just popped up. Yeah,
Yes.
circular up through Marion, Illinois, up towards Rolla, back to Springfield. Looks like down to Batesville, Jonesboro, Dyersburg. So it's a pretty good size area.
It really is. And while we're doing that here, make sure if you're watching our live stream, make sure and hit that share button for us, and let folks know, tag folks in the stream as well. Make sure that you're tagging folks. Just got a photo sent to me. This one is out of Pointer, and that's where we were just talking about a moment ago. I've got some video coming in from Pointer of lots of hail, and I'm trying to get the exact size. This picture looks to indicate maybe dime size hail in the Pointer area. She also sent me a video. Hard to watch it right now, but does show a lot of hail coming in to that area. So it looks like right now, and Steve, if you want to go back to one of your screens on the maybe tracking the hail size, it looks like, fingers crossed, that maybe this storm is starting to weaken somewhat. Although I will say it looks like before we do that, we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that's to the north of Puxico. Stand by for details. All right, so a brand new severe thunderstorm warning. This one goes out until 4:15. It was issued at 3:25. At 3:24, a severe thunderstorm was located over Shook near Lake Wapapello State Park, moving northeast at 20 miles an hour. We're talking wind speeds of 60 miles per hour, as well as a $0.5 size hail. We're talking about Shook and Zelma that is currently in this warning area. So just gives you an idea that we are not done by a long shot here with these storms as they continue. That was the same storm that, really a cluster of storms that we were looking at, because that one storm that while Steve was away for a moment, we talked about in Greenville, they've also issued a warning on that one as well. This one is for southwestern Bollinger County and northeastern Wayne County as well. And I'll get you more on that storm in just a moment. I want to go back here for just a moment, Steve, and I want to pull up the Neelyville camera here and look back. You can see the storm now, Steve. So kind of walk us through what people are looking at here on camera, being one of our elite storm spotters as well. Kind of walk us through what we are seeing here on the camera.
Looks like we're starting to get some rain for sure in that area, and it's right on the leading edge. It looks like the leading edge is starting to come through the Naylor Neelyville area, so they're starting to get some sprinkles. But you're looking at it's not very well defined, but it looks like it's probably because it's rain wrapped. You know how you always hear rain wrapped tornadoes. Storms can get rain wrapped, and you a lot of times you won't see the definition of them. So you're seeing some heavy rain for sure in that, and off in the distance you can actually see looks like some heavy downpours kind of way off in the distance back where the trees are at back there in the back.
And that one
So I
just,
would say that leading edge is right there.
I was going to say, I think you're right, because while you were talking, you can see the rain are really coming down now with that camera. And that's where that severe thunderstorm warning currently is. I know Craig Metter, I think that's Craig, who is moving that camera for us right now. And lots of heavy rain coming in. Could even see, as we see right there live on camera, the winds aren't terribly strong, although I will say they've picked up in the last few minutes. And we could even see some hail as well coming in.
Starting to get a pretty good amount of rain there, it looks like now.
I was going to say, yeah, absolutely. So I was great.
Let's go back and
yes, I was going to ask you if you could pull that up. So right now you're looking at I got some video coming in from Pointer. So we've got the hail size right now. The most intense hail looks to be on the Arkansas side of this storm. Is that what you're seeing as well?
Yes, I just got a notification from a friend from Neelyville starting pea-sized hail in Neelyville. So if you go back to that camera, you probably will see that on that Neelyville cam.
Yeah, we are there on the camera now. So see a lot of heavy rain, and Craig Mentor is there moving the weather cam for us there in Neelyville. We appreciate him as well. This is a collaborative
Unless the hail is
effort.
real heavy, it's not going to be well defined on the camera.
Well, I was trying to look at maybe seeing it on the rooftops there. Craig's doing a great job of keeping that shot for us to kind of look at. All I'm seeing right now is just the heavy rain. But if the hail isn't, coming down heavy enough, it's going to be hard to see even bouncing off the rooftops.
Absolutely.
It looks like from that shot there, Steve, and boy, I hate it for this time of day. It looks like schools are letting out now as this storm is moving in.
I just got an update on this hail core. It just updated. The size has went down.
Yes.
On this hail core. Now we're down to about 1.72 inches. Where we came from was a little over 2 inches. So it's calming down a little bit. That storm is.
I'm looking at the, if you want to go back to your source there, this is the Harville camera I'm looking at here. This is the northern part of that storm, and you see a little bit of lightning off in the distance there. You can see there a little bit of rain coming in as well. Not nearly as strong as what we are seeing there in Neelyville, but still, if you live in Harville, don't want to let your guard down by any stretch of the imagination.
Yep, starting to hear some thunder in the Poplar Bluff area. I haven't peeked out the window lately. We might start with that cell has reached. Let me take my screen full real quick.
Yeah, take yours full.
That cell has reached all the way up into south of Poplar Bluff. You'll see it grew. And so
let's see.
Yeah,
here.
I'm starting to hear some thunder. So there's a cell right here that looks like it could be growing.
While you're doing that, I'm going to, if you don't mind, can we go, let's go real quickly here to full screen. This is our Russians towing cam here that's looking on Shelby Road. And that's what you were saying, Steve, a good shot there of Palace of Praise. That's where the storm is starting to make its way in, getting some thunder, and winds have picked up a little bit. No hail as of right now, but we are seeing that storm is stretching for a long ways, just reaching the Poplar Bluff area.
Yep. Here's well, let me I grabbed the wrong one. Here we go. So here's that area. This is PP Highway, Steak and Shake in the middle of town. You can see this just now updated. There's the beginnings of the heavy cell down here around 67 South where the 4-lane comes in. And if I back that out a little bit further, you can see down around County Road 306, 314, starting to get a little bit more intense. And then on further down around 320, you guys are probably seeing some hail down that direction. If there's anybody listening in that area, let us know if you're seeing hail. According to the radar, you should be seeing some.
And please send us a message. And I'm trying to, I can't follow all of the comments for some reason, but I am getting information now that we're getting some hail reports in Neelyville. So let's try to go back to, I want to stay on top of this storm, and let's go back to Neelyville's cam, and let's kind of see what we're seeing. all we're seeing is just the rain right now. School buses are lined up to get the children. So hopefully, I would assume no schools, especially in this area, probably going to hold the kids off for a little bit just until the storm passes.
Probably a good idea.
I would
The
say so.
emergency management director in Wayne County is reporting dime-sized hail north of 34 between Piedmont and Patterson. That's that storm cell that we watched just a little bit ago.
Looking to see if we get any information on the storms, and let's see here, getting some information, getting some video sent to us as well from, I believe this is from Neelyville. Actually, it's hail in Neelyville, so we do have that confirmed. I appreciate Craig Metter. I think he sent both of us that information. If we
did get that as well.
If
yeah,
we can use
I might
that,
see if I can get that in the video.
I'll let you work on that. Thank you so much, Craig, for sending us that. Nothing right now from the Weather Service office in Paducah. I was looking to see if maybe they were going to extend this warning or not. Let's go back to Radar Omega here. And right now, just south of Poplar Bluff, Culin about to get in on some of the action as well. Naylor, between Naylor and Neelyville, there's no warnings right now in effect just for Ripley County. However, I just got a notification also of some lightning that I can hear thunder now right where I live as well. So thankfully, I'm indoors, so we're good to go. Steve, if you have any new updates, let me know, my friend.
I'm still working on trying to get this video over and keep on going. I'll see if I can get this video.
So let me zoom back out here for just a minute. Don't want to forget our friends up around the Greenville area. Storms to the north of Puxico, very strong. One is warned on. Let me look at the camera here in the Puxico area. Oops, hit the wrong button there. This one, oh, not there. So regardless, looks like I thought maybe a new warning just popped up, but it did not as of yet. So that most severe part of the storm is still going to be riding the Missouri-Arkansas state line. It's still some purple showing in that storm. And as we go to, let me look at, let's put a new
I've got that video queued up if you want to take a look at it, Frankie.
Let's go ahead and take a look at this video sent to us by Craig Metter. This is the video of the hail that you can see there on your camera. That is in Neelyville just a few minutes ago. So that does confirm what radar was showing, and you can see it coming down at a pretty good clip. So thank you again to for giving us that video. And I was going to put, if you don't mind, Steve, let's put a new track on this storm. Even though there's not a warning on it, you can see Neelyville right now really getting pounded. And I want to go back to the camera in Neelyville. And you can kind of see while you're doing that, that's what the storm is right now. It's kind of let up where we have the camera at Neelyville right now. However, it looks like, and with it being 3:35, it looks like that schools not, I don't see a lot of movement. I do now. I was going to say I wasn't seeing movement from the school. I see a little bit of activity now, but the storm in this part of the area, it looks as if it has kind of weakened somewhat. Just some heavy rainfall is what we're seeing right now. And
all right, I'm ready for you if you want to take that.
Yeah, go ahead. I was going to say Gary Davison is now saying that just rain in Neelyville. So here's a new track on this storm. Nothing. We do not have a warning on this storm for southern Butler County. However, if you live in Campbell, this leading edge will be on your doorstep coming up at 4:53. Also, Clarkton at 5:06, Malden at 5:06, and in Bernie coming up at 5:09. So that is where this storm, this leading edge, also Corning, Arkansas, is under a severe thunderstorm warning as well. So we have warnings in Clay County, Arkansas, also in western Ripley County as well. Let's go to I'm going to pull up the warning for western Ripley County as well, as we are talking about. They have updated this one as well, too. So this one at 3:26, we're talking about possibly tennis ball size hail with this storm that is in Ripley County. It is 60-mile-per-hour winds. We're still saying Donovan, Naylor, and Oxley, also fair dealing. That is that storm. Although I will tell you, I don't really see I don't see that storm being that strong right now, at least in those areas. However, if you live in maybe, let's say, Clay County, Arkansas, very well could be some very large hail, possibly golf ball. Let me look at the tower once again.
Okay.
We were looking at the tower site a moment ago on Shelby Road. Here's a good shot of Culin, and this is where this storm is heading, Steve, and you can see off in the distance.
That's well defined right there.
I was going to say, very well defined, and you can see the lightning off on the right side of your screen. The camera shaking a little bit, which tells me the wind has picked up just a little bit. We're not worried about the wind speeds here today going to be the hail. I have no idea why I pushed myself on screen. Sorry about that, Steve. Getting a new warning. Got a new warning coming up. So let's stand by for new information. Yep, stand by. All right, so a brand new severe thunderstorm warning now for, here it is. This one is for the southern parts of Butler County, and you can see the impacts here. Hail size about ping pong size, damaging wind gust of 60 miles per hour. This one is for southwestern New Madrid County, southeastern Ripley County, southern Butler, and southeastern Stoddard until 4:30 this afternoon. At 3:37, a severe thunderstorm was located near Neelyville, or 12 miles northwest of Chalk Bluff, moving east at 45 miles an hour, ping pong size hail, and winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. Let me highlight all of these areas that are going to be located in this storm. We're talking Portageville, Bernie, Malden, Clarkton, Gideon, Parma, Naylor, Neelyville, Culin, Risco, Harville, Fair Dealing, Tallapoosa, and Catron. And by the way, also, we are talking about this also includes Interstate 55 at mile markers at 33. So a very long area, Steve, of this severe thunderstorm warning. And that is all because of that storm that is moving out of Ripley into Butler. And here is a new fresh track on this storm, and we're going to get right into it. Campbell going to be in your area coming up at 4:47. Malden at 5 p.m. Bernie, it'll be there about 5:04. Also Dexter. Whoops. Did I hit the wrong button there?
Nope.
Okay. Sorry about that. That was you. Okay. Gotcha.
Let me bring you back up.
No, it's okay.
Real quick.
We were just talking about we were talking about the storms there. So New Dexter, it'll be in your area coming up at around 5:12. Still have a long way to go with this one. Go ahead, Steve. You can bring up the camera you were looking at here.
Yeah, one of our storm spotters texted me and said, take a look at the Culin cam again. So we're going to take a look at the Culin cam here real quick. It's right on top of Culin.
It really is. So if you know somebody who lives in that area or possibly traveling and want to try to get off the roads if possible, as we're talking about hail, possibly the size of a ping pong, and I can hear the thunder outside where I live. So while you're doing that, I'm going to go over to, I'm going to bring up one of our other tower cams here. I want to look and see if anything is going on. Just a little bit of rain at the studio camera in Poplar Bluff. Let me look at our other camera. This one is on Shelby Road, and here it is. This one is in the Shelby Road area. So you can see nothing severe with this storm here that we're looking at here, Steve. You can see off in the distance there, maybe some clearing off to the west coming in behind this storm.
Looks like it's clearing up a little bit.
So that is what we have there. We'll go back to Radar Omega. So that's one thing that I love about our collaboration is we're going to use every tool that we have available when it comes to weather cams. We're going to use everything that we have at our disposal. So looking at the Weather Service office out of Paducah, looking at getting some information. Nothing coming in on the storms, although that new mesoscale, we just talked about that a moment ago, that was given to us. Getting some information from the Weather Service office out of Memphis while you have that on site there. South end of the storm over Clay County, it has intensified, and this is as of 2 minutes ago. It has intensified and merging with the main storm. Hail size is still nearly 2 inches at the last radar scan. And that's what we're looking at right now on radar.
Yeah, let me try to pull up the approximate hail size, the approximation. It's not as bad as it was earlier. We're still looking at about an inch, inch and a quarter in this cell that's riding the state line. Yeah, it looks like about an inch, 1.23 inches at its biggest, I believe.
So getting some reports now coming in from the Neelyville area. Heavy rain in Neelyville, but the hail has stopped. See, Sarah's letting us know that it's thunder at the lake area. No hail. Did get a report of hail on Highway E. That's in Donovan. Let's see here. See, Piedmont. They were under a severe thunderstorm warning, although I think that storm... That's my fault there, Steve. Let me back out here and go back into Radar Omega for just a moment. And okay. The Piedmont storm, so the bulk of the activity is going to be to the south of Piedmont. Although I will tell you, Steve, that storm that's north of Puxico, that one isn't moving all that much. And we're getting some pretty good, looks like some hail size has kind of intensified there as well.
But yeah, if you'll take my screen live there real quick, I've got a history of the last hour. That's the movement of hail indicated by the radar over the last hour. If you'll look right there where my cursor is at, they hit 3 inches. Radar indicated 3 inches, right in there. And so you can see it cooled off and has continued to cool off over the past last few updates.
That's definitely some good news, is hopefully that will continue to kind of dissipate. The Weather Service did go ahead and issue warnings all the way across southern Butler County going into the Boot Hill because of what we are seeing here with these storms. Just these storms are a health threat here this afternoon. It's not very often that we get storms that are just health threats, but that's what we have here today.
Right. It's a unique storm.
It really is. And it's amazing how it's evolved over the day, because coming in this morning, it wasn't going to do much. And then as the day wore on, we were getting more and more concerned about the potential of getting severe storms. And here we are at 3:44 in the afternoon.
Yeah, you said it earlier. When I got up this morning, I didn't realize we were going to be doing this today.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
The SPC did not have us outlook for it.
No, but I had a feeling that the way things were going, it was a possibility this could possibly happen, and that's kind of where we are right now. So we're watching this, and I haven't gotten any reports of damage with these storms, which is really good news. And also, we just looked at our weather cam. Oh, check this.
Look at that.
Take it full screen here. This is in Culin right now. And
that's some good wind right there.
That's some good wind. The camera is shaking, and you can see the rain shafts, and look at the heavy rain. And it wouldn't surprise me a bit, Steve, if we've got some hail in this storm in Culin as well. Can we go double box here, keep the camera pulled up, and maybe go to on one of your screens and maybe see the hail size that's coming into Culin if we do see any at all?
Yeah,
so
if
you're looking on your screen, we're double box here. You've got the weather cam on the right side of the screen, and now we're going to see about the hail size, see if we're getting any maybe radar.
Well, I'm not sure that radar is not matching up with what we're seeing at Culin, but the hail core is just east of Neelyville now, and according to this, let me put it in motion, see if make sure it's totally up to date. Yep. So that's what the radar is indicating.
And that's pretty close to what the radar is showing. I'm sorry, what the
radar sweeps are usually
a little bit
unless it's like level 3 or level 2 radar, you're going to have about a 5 to 7 minute delay.
So that just goes to show you what we're looking at here. I'm going to keep the camera on for just a minute here for Culin, for our friends in Culin. Also, we have some bigger size hail that's to the southwest, and there's that new radar scan as we just got it, and it's now covering the Culin area. So that is what we're seeing right here. So while you're doing that, I'm going to let you drive for just a few minutes here. I'm going to check something real quick by the Weather Service office in Paducah.
Okay. Yeah. co-director Craig Metter was saying that Paducah is expecting. He's asking if there's going to be any more development. Craig saying, or the Justin Gibbs from the Weather Service saying probably not. So after this gets out of our area, we're probably going to be good for the evening.
Good. That's good news. I got more things to do this afternoon, so I'm just glad I'm just glad that we were able to get all of our kinks worked out here and get this going here today. That was our big announcement we were going to do, and I'm glad that we were able to get it done today.
Yeah, there's still a few bugs to work out, but technology is going to be technology. You know how it is.
Absolutely.
You expect it to do one thing and it does another.
Can we go full screen with the camera here? And Keelan just saw a flash of lightning a moment ago. So, yeah, if you're traveling or know somebody going to be traveling in that area, today is not the day to do that, at least right now. Very heavy rain coming into Keelan, some winds, I would say possibly gusting, and I'm just guessing at this point, I would say probably around 40 plus miles an hour, maybe up to 40
to 45
miles.
Would be a good guess.
And you're seeing I can see it on my screen. You can see the winds taking the rain and sweeping it across the fields there.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what we're seeing there in the Keelan area. Let's see here. Let's see if we have anything going on in any other cameras. Nope. So I was looking to see also McDougall, Arkansas. Corning, Arkansas is getting it right now. We'll zoom in there to Corning. You can see the biggest hail core is right over Corning right now to the west of McDougall. And then once we get through these storms, as you said a moment ago, Steve, looking back to the west, don't have anything firing. So once we get past this round, I think we'll be good for the afternoon.
Absolutely. I'll give you a look at if I can find it here. Got some storm spotters out. I think they're basically just surveying what we've got. Nothing major at this time. So I'll take my screen full real quick. This is basically an overview of the region. So once this gets out of our area, we're gonna be setting good for the rest of the night.
Yeah, I think you're right. Once we get past all of this, we'll be in much better shape. So just got to get through this here this afternoon. And we don't have, I'm going through some of the comments here real fast, and don't have any, as of right now, you can never say never, I guess, but I don't have any, indications that we're concerned about the potential of tornadoes today. It's just going to be the large hail. Not to say that we couldn't see one, but from everything we're seeing, it's just going to be the strong gusty winds, but mainly it's going to be the hail threat. And I'm going back to Keelan and taking it full screen. There was a lightning flash there. You can see that's going to be the primary threat. It's blowing pretty good. I would still say about 45 miles an hour. They warned on this storm because of the potential of the hail threat being right around at 2 inches. We've seen some storms already come through that did have hail sizes that were above 2 inches with the same storm. So, and that's what we're watching right now.
Yeah, I'm going to try to grab one of the models while you're
all right
explaining stuff. We'll see
while you're doing
the estimated time of getting out of here.
Yep. While you're doing that, I'm going to do a new storm track here on these on the storms that we are watching right now. That is in southern Butler County, also moving off to the east. And let's see here. We're going to make a new storm.
Looks like we got a new warning, Frankie. Down in Clay County, northwestern County.
We sure did. Stand by for the details. All right, so this is a brand new severe thunderstorm warning for Clay County, and that's in effect now until 4:15 this afternoon. At 3:50, a severe storm was located near Success, Arkansas, or 7 miles northwest of Corning, moving east at 30 miles an hour. And we're talking about 2-inch size hail and wind speeds of up to 60 miles an hour. The locations, if you can, Steve, highlight the locations if it's possible. Corning, McDougall, also Twin Oaks, and that's going to be the areas that's going to be impacted by those severe storms. We're talking 2-inch size hail and wind gusts of up to 60 miles per hour. And let me
Yeah,
put,
so the biggest core of that storm stayed south. Those are kind of what we were thinking is going to ride that state line.
yes, it definitely has rode that state line. I want to put a new track on that storm, and I believe we said that storm was moving at about 30 miles an hour. And if that is the case, let me
I'll
take
take
this.
yours
There
here,
we
yeah.
go. So that's going to be the time. So McDougal at around, and once again, these are not exact times. This is just giving you an estimate. McDougal around 3:58. Pollard coming in around 4:13. At St. Francis, 4:27. Also Campbell at 4:36. Holcomb coming in at around 4:41. Clarkton at 4:47. Tallapoosa, if it holds together, at 5:05. Wardell 5:05, and Risco coming in at 5:06. So kind of gives you an idea of where these storms are right now and the times that they will get to your location. The good news is, at least by looking at this particular map here, Steve, we're not showing, we still have some very strong storms. I'm going to look at it, even though I kind of think I know. So this is the heavy rain that we are seeing right now in Neelyville, and that's on the backside of that
It's on the
storm.
back side of it. Yep.
Yep.
So it should just be rain there, nothing else to worry about. I
No-
got a report. One of our storm spotters had gotten a secondhand report about 1.75 inch size hail in Success, Arkansas.
Wow, and that was that storm that we were looking at here, right over
Yep.
Corning right now. You can see the. Let's go back to your screen there, Steve, and if you can pull up maybe how big the hail size is, or an estimate here, radar-wise, of what we are seeing from the Corning, Arkansas area. A lot of friends down there as well. So definitely that's where that hail core is, and that's right there on West Main Street.
Right there on them. Yep.
I was going to say, really coming into the heart now of Corning. So that is, if you know of somebody who lives in Corning, make sure that they know that a hailstorm is definitely coming their direction. We're talking hail size up to 2 inches possible. At a quarter or 1 3/4 inch is about golf ball size. 2 inches.
And that tracks with what we just got as well. That
It does.
report. I mean, it tracks
Absolutely.
right there with it. Ground truth.
I was going to say the 2-inch size hail was right about hen egg size hail. So it would not surprise me a bit, Steve, if we're seeing that right now in this storm. And I'm telling you, the latest radar scan that I've got here on my radar does show that the storm is starting to move out of the Corning area. But if you live in McDougal, also Pollard and Piggott, there's no warning for your area yet. But if this storm holds together, that's going to change pretty quick as well. Also, if you live in Campbell, you're going to be on the leading edge of these storms coming in. As I zoom out, we're getting some more showers popping up, but that's going to be your garden thunderstorm variety. Not going to be not worried about severe storms with these coming in.
If there's anybody living in the Corning area that can,
Yeah.
that's listening, that can comment, let us know if you're seeing hail, because according to this right here,
You should
be getting some good hail right now.
All right, so getting a report now as we're speaking. I'm getting a report here. I'm going to send this to you, Steve, and this is this came in. We'll see if Steve can put this on a camera for us, or on the video for us. The location that I'm just got this from, actually. Let me back up 1 second. Sorry about that. I've got a lot of messages coming in now. This is from Campbell. This is on Highway 53 looking northwest. So this is from the Campbell area, and I just sent that to Steve. We'll let him, if he can, try to
I
get
got
that.
it. We'll throw it over here real quick.
So that is what's going on, like literally as we speak. This is in real time, folks. This is as good as it gets. This is real time that we're going to show you images. And feel free, if you live in Campbell, if you live in the Boot Heel, maybe Northeast Arkansas, Clay County, Arkansas, feel free to send us pictures. And if you're ready, Steve, we'll throw it to you.
Okay, go ahead.
So that is the picture.
I don't know what that is.
That's not the right one.
Not sure what that is.
That is a picture I sent you a long time ago. But
technology can be cantankerous.
Yes, it is. So let's see here. So there we go. So there's Steve's feed that we're looking at right
I'll
here.
re-rack this and try it again.
So we'll let you try that again, and then whenever I see it up on the screen, I'll try to take it. But this is the shot that we've seen from the Campbell area as this storm is starting to make its way in to Campbell as we speak. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here while we're waiting for that to come up. My son just got home from school and must be raining outside. He is soaking wet. All right, so this is the storm that we're looking at right now in the Campbell area. Let's see here, trying to get some information
There we go.
pulled up here. As you do that, Steve, I'm working on trying to get. All right, so if you're ready for me to, whoops, let me pick that up.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Don't go yet.
Nope, I just went. That's okay though. That's the best part. So.
Everybody's getting to see us work the bugs out live.
That's right. We're doing it live. That's the way we do things around here. So right now, between Corning and McDougal, those are the areas seeing the heaviest part of this storm. Campbell is about to get some heavy rain, also possibly some strong winds as well. There we go. So that is the picture that was just given to us. Steve, a pretty good indication of what's coming their way.
Absolutely. Where was this picture taken?
This
Frankie,
was, the information that I was given with this picture, it said Campbell along Highway 53 looking northwest.
Okay. Yep,
so that's exactly what we're seeing here on radar. So thank you, Joseph, for sending us that shot. If you have any more pictures, please send them to us, and we'll do our best to get them live on our feed. Once again, we are live on Facebook and on YouTube. And of course, we are tracking severe storms right now. Just got information about dime-sized hail at Clearwater Lake. That's in Wayne County. Got a new warning that just popped up as well, it looks like, Steve.
See that, yep.
And that is for the storms that we just showed that picture for there near Campbell. Stand by for the details. All right, so a brand new severe thunderstorm warning now just been issued. This one for northeastern Clay County and eastern Arkansas, northeastern Dunklin in southeast Missouri until 4:45 at 3:58. Severe storms were located near Chalk Bluff, moving east at 35 miles an hour, wind speeds of 60 miles per hour. Also, quarter-size hail is being reported, and here are the towns that we are looking at. So I'll read through some of these here. Malden, also Campbell, Clarkton, St. Francis, Glennonville, also Valley Ridge. Those are just some of the areas that are going to be impacted by this severe storm. And that is a brand new severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued for those areas. And it's going to continue to move off to the east very slowly. I'll tell you what, Steve, I want to zoom in. I know we got the warning now for Campbell, Clarkton, Malden, Gideon, and all those places. But what I'm concerned about more is this area right here, and that is right between Corning and McDougal.
Yes, there's a hail core in that for sure, right there.
Right there where I drew that circle is where that we are seeing the heaviest of the hail core. If you can, Steve, we'll throw it back to you. If you can get that pulled up, we'll kind of see kind of maybe the hail size, kind of what you're seeing, at least on radar, so to speak. And there's a new timeline of the storm that we are tracking. Malden coming up in about 17 minutes. New Madrid at 4:49. Also, the rest of those towns you see are getting into northeast or northwest Tennessee. So we'll try to back out here and we'll kind of see what we are seeing size-wise. And this one is right over, you see there, before he even zooms in, you can just tell that this hail core really has not folded. It did for a little bit, but it has really gained strength. And now moving into the McDougal area, eventually it'll be clipping Pollard as well, and St. Francis, Arkansas. right
Yeah, let's
there
take a
on
look at
the
the see if
county
we can get the
line.
hail size here.
Yes. So we'll do that, and then while he's doing that, I'm going to check. I'm going to check the radar here, just because got a new information from the Weather Service office in Paducah. We'll get to that momentarily. Looks like
Looks like we're at somewhere around an inch and a half, a little under inch and a half. Radar
so.
indicated.
So some good news here is that this is coming in from Paducah at 401. Let me get you that just 1 second here. Got some breaking news coming in. I want to share this with our audience here. This is coming in from the Poplar Bluff schools. They just posted on their Facebook page, due to weather conditions during our afternoon transportation cycle, buses for the kindergarten and elementary students may be delayed between 20 and 30 minutes. And that's going on today. And Steve, what we saw a few moments ago, that does not surprise me at all with the storms that
Correct.
just rode
Exactly.
into our area.
Yes.
I was going to say from Paducah, severe storms continue tracking to the east southeast at about 30 miles an hour. The storm mode has been messier over the last half hour, which means that they are weakening somewhat. And the Weather Service believes that these storms in our area, they have reached peak intensity, and a slow weakening trend is going to be anticipated over the next hour or so. So the threat as of right now still appears to be some hail around 3/4 of an inch, and possibly wind speeds between 40 and 45 miles an hour. Unfortunately, though, what we are looking at in Clay County, Arkansas, is quite the opposite.
Yep, that's the hail core right there, and it's moved. It's moved east of Corning. It looks like, I mean, just the radar scan itself looks like it's more intense, but the estimated size didn't really line up with that.
It did not. So if you live in McDougal, Pollard, St. Francis, just know that this storm is capable of producing 2-inch size hail with this particular storm. Make sure that if you can, bring your valuables inside, other than the cars, obviously. But
Absolutely.
if you can't bring the cars into a garage, go ahead and do that for sure. But obviously, with hail size that we are seeing right now on radar, we're still trying to get some ground truth to what we are seeing right now with these storms. A lot of folks still watching us on social media. Thank you so much for that. The good news is not really anticipating the tornado threat with these storms. However, Steve, if you don't mind, Craig Metter has just sent us a message here. Let's look at the storms, maybe back to the west of Poplar Bluff if we can. Let me go back to, I'm trying to pull it up myself.
So I see what he's saying right here, south of Grandin. Looks like they're maybe backfiring just a little bit.
Maybe. Nothing severe yet. But if you live in Poplar Bluff, thank you, Craig, for that. So we're looking at that right now. That is showing a little bit of a hail core on that. So while you're doing that, I'm going to look at a couple of other things here. Taking nothing away, I'll tell you what, Steve, I want to, if you can, just back out for just a moment and look at that hail core. If you know somebody who lives in McDougal, now is the time to give them a call, folks. This storm, it's got a history of producing over 2-inch size hail. Would not surprise me a bit, Steve, if we're going to see every bit of 2-inch size hail coming in.
That's
to
about
the
2
McDougal
1/4
area.
right there.
I was going to say it's not going to be surprising if you live along Highway 62 there, County Road 243. That's in Clay County, Arkansas. This is the area that we're most concerned about when it comes to the hail threat. It's a very small area, but between, if you can zoom right back in just a little bit, Steve, if you don't mind. You had a great shot of the county roads there. That's County Road 243. Also looks like County Road
Looks like 245.
245 as well. So 245, 243, Highway 62. That is getting near McDougal. And if you zoom, I would say it looks like the northern part, if it holds together, Steve, the northern part of the hail core, it looks to be possibly going to track right into downtown McDougal. Am I right on that?
Yes, let me get a track on this real quick, and I'll just do a short term track.
So
So estimated, these are estimated about 30 miles per hour. So if you're in Vegas, you're about 433. Um, let me make a
making
slightly
yeah,
southern track and see what we can get.
make an
I get this
adjustment.
atmosphere.
And while you're doing that, we're watching the storms west of town right now as well. Steve, while you're doing that, I'm going to look at bring in one of our weather cams, and
Okay.
I'm going to go to the one there at I'm going to go to the one near Heartland Express. Once I
Okay.
get there, I'll show you. There it is. So I'm going to take that full screen for just a minute here. This is
That's
the weather
that's good.
cam at near Heartland Express, and you can see this is the storm that we're talking about coming in from the west. And great shot. Thank you, Craig, on that. I appreciate that. He got that turned around for us to where we can see that. That is a storm that is coming in to the western parts of Butler County. Still, as of right now, not warned on. There he goes. He's moving in real time. Really appreciate that, Craig. So, Steve, if you're watching this full screen, being an elite storm spotter, you hear me use that term a lot. Tell the folks here what they're looking at.
Well, it looks like there's obviously some heavy rain back off in the distance, and if you can, I don't know if you're watching on a TV or a phone. That makes a difference on your what you can see. But I'm seeing it's you're getting some pretty good rain there. Looks like there's possibly some wind in that. It's I wish I had a better resolution on my side so I could see it better. You probably are seeing it a lot better than I am. I'm remoting into you, and so I've got a smaller resolution screen.
Well, right now, what we are seeing is the rain starting to
It
move
is starting to
in.
come down really good
I was
there.
going to say, yeah, it's moving in. I've got a great shot here of what Craig is showing us right now. So that is the Heartland Express cam right there in southern Poplar Bluff. And we're going to go back here just for a minute. I want to see the radar here. A couple things. I want to see so that one storm that we were looking at here. I know it's kind of just to the south of us, but right now that hail threat, the hail storm that we were talking about, it is right over McDougal. And we also have another storm, and they just issued a brand new warning on that same
They
storm,
sure did.
Steve. That's
Absolutely.
in real time, and that is because I'm interested to see. This is they're giving a tag of tennis ball size hail. This is the
Wow.
storm that's near McDougal. The wind's about 60 miles per hour, but really this one is about the hail size. We're talking tennis ball size hail is estimated on radar, Steve, and boy, that can do a lot of damage being outside with that particular storm. I was gonna right on cue. So this
Get you a
radar
brand new storm
scan.
track set up.
I was going to say this radar scan is showing the hail threat to be maybe not as impressive, but still, if you live in McDougal, that's about 6 minutes out. It's
That's
416,
correct.
Pollard at about 429, Vegas, which is in southern Butler County, you're looking at 432.
There's a
That
new
is
warning right there.
a brand new
Just popped
warning
up.
just got popped up as well. So lots of warnings now that are popping up because of this storm. We're still watching the one, so we're going to keep it here, and I'm going to read this to you here. At 4:10, a severe storm was capable of producing, located over McDougal, 9 miles west of Chalk Bluff Natural Area. It is moving east at 40 miles an hour. The big threat, tennis ball size hail, winds of 60 miles an hour. Malden, Campbell, Chalk Bluff Natural Area, Clarkton, St. Francis, Glenonville. These are the areas, Wilhelmina as well. These are the areas that we're very concerned
It's a
about.
huge area.
It is a very wide area, and you don't see tennis ball. Can you highlight the tennis ball size for just a moment? That is something that you don't see in every warning that comes out. So if you know somebody who lives in these areas, make sure you tell them that there's a storm, at least on radar, that we are showing potentially up to tennis ball size hail. And
There
right
it is
now,
updated in real time.
it did. County Road 243, 245, and 247. That is the areas that we are seeing that hail core. It looks like, Steve, that at least based on this indication, maybe the biggest hail threat is going to stay just to the south of McDougal along Highway, what is that, 141, it looks like.
Yep, Highway 141 and 62. It may clip McDougal, but these storms are wobbling just a little bit. You know, earlier it had a south, an east southeast, and it went east northeast, and now it's kind of wobbling back and forth.
So while you're doing that, I also want to go back and I do want to look at I want to look at our camera again. This one is in southern Poplar Bluff near Heartland Express. And you look at that, you look at the camera there, Steve, and
you start to see the rain now.
I'm starting to see, but I'm also seeing, if you look, and I'm not sure how your resolution is, but I'm also seeing possibly some dust being blown around too. And that's an indication that this one coming in does have maybe a little bit more wind than the
wind
one
in it for sure. Yep,
yeah, not maybe
sure.
Still maybe about 40 miles an hour, but you can see we've been very dry. There was a lightning flash there that live on your screen. So there's no
one
warning.
tell about that. You don't see the camera shaking. It's not going to have it's not indicating that there's a lot of wind, but you are seeing something back there in the background.
Absolutely. So we do see that there is something, going on into the wind right now, but nevertheless, these storms are moving off to the east at about 40 miles an hour. Once they get out of here, then we should be okay for the night. I know the Mules baseball team, they are safe and sound. They are in Paragould here this afternoon, so nothing in those areas, which is great news. These storms will be well out of here. I stayed back because of the severe weather coverage and the fact that we were going to do video, but we didn't know. Radar showed storms to be in that area too at this same time, so we just made the decision to stay back and do our weather coverage here. To keep people alerted and keep people safe. And I'm going to go back to, while you're doing that, I'm looking at the camera here. I'm going to keep it here for just a second, Steve, just because it looks like, at least on radar.
Let's take it full.
Yeah, take it. Well, no, go back to the double box here for just a minute. On the left side, if you can, zoom up a little bit. And I want to see that storm as it's coming in to western Butler County. You can kind of see where we're at here with this camera. Maybe go a little bit farther north if you can. And we're looking, there you go, perfect. That's kind of what I wanted to see. So you see the storms that are coming in on this camera that Craig has. I see lightning off in the distance, and it looks like, at least the short term, that these storms are starting to possibly strengthen somewhat as well. And this one is to the west of Poplar Bluff. Is that what you're seeing, Steve?
That's what I'm seeing. Yeah. And you can see, let me stop this image. I'll take it.
And on the camera, you can see that too. You see where that rain shaft line is too. Very good look at it.
So I'm seeing, let me take mine full real quick. I'm seeing at least 3 individual cores. I don't know if you can see my mouse moving there. I don't have a way to draw on this, but right there's one. Right there's one, and maybe another one right here starting to come together.
Yes, it is. And I'm getting some more information coming in. This is from the Campbell area. That picture that we showed earlier on, Steve, that was on Highway H. And I'm looking at the site you've got up right now, and they are getting pelted right now. So we might get some more images coming, and I'm not sure which one. So go back to the camera there feed. I've got pulled up, if you don't mind, Steve, on Radar Omega. Craig was moving the camera for us a little bit. If you can, Craig, do that again. If you can kind of zoom around or pan around to kind of show the picture of what's coming in from the west, that would be great. There might be a slight delay from our end to what Craig can hear, so that's why it's not maybe moving.
Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of a delay on the live stream.
But he'll move that around here pretty quick, and we'll be able to kind of see. You'll be able to see where you're watching, kind of what's going on. But the rain definitely has picked up. I'm not showing. It doesn't look like there's a lot of wind right now. The camera's not moving a whole lot, which is good news. I don't see.
That's pretty stable, but I do see the rain there for sure.
Yeah, the rain for sure. Don't see any hail. Don't have any reports of hail coming in as of yet, so we'll wait and see how that pans out. Looking at the radar here closely, you can take it to your radar, Steve, and it looks like that.
This is kind of an overview where we're at. We're probably another, I'm guessing, maybe another 30 minutes out of Butler County, nothing but rain, and then blue skies behind that.
Okay, your audio locked up for 1 second. Say that again, Steve.
I said after this moves out, probably in another 20, 30, maybe 40 minutes, depending on if the speed varies, we'll see blue skies behind this.
And the radar that I've got here is you got pulled up actually right there in Clay County, Arkansas. Still a hail core to the south and to the west of Pollard. It might miss Piggott, but it's coming into Campbell and Holcomb. I want to stay as long as you're okay, Steve. If you've got something else to do, I understand. I want to stay on the
No, we're
air.
good.
I want to stay on
good.
until this hail core gets through Campbell and Holcomb. And once we get through that, I think that our severe weather threat really starts to go down. That's at least what I'm showing here.
Yeah, I
anyway.
agree with you.
I'm going to look at some of the information coming in from the Weather Service to see if we have any confirmations. I'm going to look at the site in Memphis.
These are now being estimated to be moving about 36 miles per hour. Again, east, slightly northeast. I drew a new track.
Wow, I want
If you're
to.
in,
Yeah, this.
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead and finish out that track here real quick.
Yeah, I was going to say the Pollard. If you're in the Pollard area, about 425. St. Francis about 437. Campbell 444. Folks in Holcomb about 448, and Clarkton about 453. And we're hoping it'll kind of maybe diminish in strength, but right now it's been holding its own all the way across the state line. It has been dipping a little bit. If you remember, if we go all the way back towards where it come through in Thayer earlier today, it was riding the state line for a good ways.
Can you back up the? Zoom in on that storm in Clay County, Arkansas? Can you back up your radar to? Let's see, back it up to about Success, Arkansas, between Corning and McDougal. I'll show you why.
Switch over. I may have to switch over to Radar Omega for that information.
Well, while you're doing that, I was going to show folks at home why we are talking about why we were so concerned. While you're doing that, I want to show you something that was just sent in to us. This is the and you can see that, I think, Steve, on your end. That is the hail size that we were talking about. That's probably what, golf ball size hail?
I'd say probably at least.
I would say golf ball size hail was just sent in to us, and that's why we were talking about, that hail core being so concerning. That is just one image that we have received so far, and believe me, there'll be probably more images like that's going to be coming up in the near term.
Okay, I've moved this way back about 250 frames. If you want to take mine, we can watch it as it moves across.
Take it, and I just want you to see, as we were watching this, we were watching the hail core just continue to grow, and as soon as
let me reload that in.
Okay, you can read. There you go. Now
there we go.
So this is from earlier today, as you can see, nothing going on, and then all of a sudden, once it got into about Thayer, is when really it started to ramp up, and it stayed that way for quite a while. It kind of cycled down a little bit as it moved into southern Ripley, but then once it got closer to just east of Naylor, it really started to ramp up, and there it is. You see you can see the hail core right over Success, and right there, boom. That is where that picture was taken and sent in to us. So golf ball size hail, definitely a possibility there. And going to look, there's no warning here, but there is the, I want to take this back for 1 second. This is the camera that Craig moved for us near Heartland Express. And thankfully, the camera, very sturdy, not worried about wind. I'm not even worried about hail right now with this storm, Steve. I think the energy isn't going to be there. We're going to get some much needed heavy rainfall, and that's about it, at least for our neck of the woods in Butler County. The majority of Butler, although southern right now, is still seeing a very strong storm going in to northern Dunklin County. I may have lost Steve. I'm not sure if he is still there. Nevertheless, we are watching radar images.
There we
here.
go. I got you.
There we go. Okay. So
I was going to say, it looks like that if you look at the track, I'll take mine full for just a second. The last couple of refreshes is showing that storm is trying to wind down a little bit.
It really is. And by the way, as I was talking, got some information here from a good friend of mine, Brian, who told me that pea-size hail, this is currently going on right now. If we can, Steve, let's zoom in to the storm in western Butler County. Getting some information coming in. This is confirmed pea-size hail in Industrial Park. Also getting a report of pea-size hail also on M Highway in Butler County. So that is that storm right there by Stringtown. If you can, maybe pan out to, there you go, to the left. And that is where these reports are coming in as we speak.
About quarter size, quarter of an inch size.
Yep. So we're looking at, between a dime and a quarter size inch there west of town. That's going to be right in line with our camera that is set up near Heartland Express. Also, I'm going to look at one of our other cameras as well to kind of give us an idea of maybe if we're seeing anything else. So those are some reports. Not getting anything there on Shelby Road. So we don't have anything there to show. I'm trying to show the camera angles here if we can. Let's see here. Just getting this in from the Weather Service office. This came in. They are continuing the severe weather warning for Dunklin County. Let's see here. Also getting some information coming in from my good friend, Miss Judy with Ozark Border. And we are getting a little bit here of power outages, believe it or not, Steve. We've got 2 right now in Butler County, Dunklin County 105, and Stoddard County. We've got 131 that are currently without power, according to Ozark Border. So we appreciate.
See if I can pull that up on the map, and we'll have a look at it here in just a second.
Please do. You do that, and I will get to. I want to check out that warning here between Pollard and Piggott. So we've got a couple of areas that we're watching. I'm going to go back to the camera here, and I'm going to look at this camera. This is near Heartland Express. Don't have a camera set up right now for. I was looking at some of the weather cameras that were west of town, but the only one that I have is this one right here that we can see, and it's a very good shot here of what's coming in right now. Some hail reported along M Highway near Stringtown, which is right in this general area. So obviously this is the last bit of the storms that are coming in. It is right now, at least in Butler County.
Yeah, my good friend Randy Beebe said that he had dime-size hail at his house, and he's out towards that M Highway Stringtown area as well.
Gotcha. So we're watching that here, and while we're doing that, let's pull up the image here, or the latest warning for the Dunklin County and Clay County, Arkansas. And that one, now the good news is it has reduced its size considerably, because if you remember, it was up to tennis ball size hail. It is now at ping pong size hail. Wind gust of 60 miles an hour. These are the locations that are going to be impacted with this storm, and I'll read a few of them for you. Piggott, Campbell, also Clarkton, Holcomb, St. Francis counties, McDougal. I think it's past McDougal now, but that gives you an idea of where these storms are. Getting a report now here, Steve, of we don't have a warning in this area. I zoomed out too much. I want to go back into western Butler County. We're getting a report now of some bigger size hail than just a dime size, and that's with this storm coming in to western Butler County. No warnings right now. Let me see. Let me look at this weather camera here. This one, power just flickered here where I live. So this is, tell us where this weather camera is here, Steve.
That's at Batson Mini Farms out at the Boycom Tower, one of our partners. And that looks like it's got a little bit of droplets on the tower, or on the camera. No shaking of the camera, so I'm not seeing any wind in that. Looks like maybe just some rain.
That's what I was thinking too. Just wanted to give a good idea of what we're looking at here to the west of town. Let's see here. So here's one in Harville, and that storm has moved out of Harville, as you can see here on the camera. So it is gone. Nothing in the back of that storm. Also, the one here in Neelyville, pretty much you see some clear skies, some sunshine now coming out as well, and that is in Neelyville. So I would go on the record and say that the severe weather threat is over from Doniphan to Naylor, Neelyville, Grandin, Elsinore, Van Buren. I would say the severe weather threat's over, and I would say coming in right now to the Poplar Bluff area, I would say Once we get through this round right here, then I would say it's pretty much going to be a lock for us as well. I do want
Yeah.
to go. I do want to take this real quickly, full screen here. This is the Shelby Road camera here, and you can see that storm is making its way in to western Poplar Bluff. Right now, it looks like, Steve, just some rain, maybe a little bit of wind, but it's going to be primarily just, hopefully it stays this way, just heavy rainfall.
I'll take you side by side. Oh, you left me, but I was going to show you that area right there. So I'm hearing thunder at my location. Seeing some rain, nothing major, but we do have out here in Stringtown area. Still got that little small hail core that we're dealing with. Speaking of hail, a while ago, my wife called and said I'm fired. Apparently, I forgot to let her know it was hailing.
Oh, I was gonna say you forgot to let the dog out, didn't you? So you can see
right.
you can see the image there on the left side of your screen. Stringtown, between Stringtown and Poplar Bluff, that is where the heaviest of the hail core is. Is there any way that you can see kind of maybe the size that we're dealing with right here? I got some reports.
Yeah, let's take a look here.
I got some reports of bigger than dime size hail over Stringtown, and that kind of confirms. Can you make that full
about
screen?
half inch right there.
Half inch, okay.
Yeah, about
So,
half inch.
I'm looking to see if I'm getting a lot of reports here.
Up
So
to a quarter.
let's see here. This one is.
There's also a hail core right here, 67 south, which is I would say that's why I just got a call said I'm fired. My wife is down in that area. This radar scan is showing about quarter of an inch size hail.
So
Down around Relax Motel.
Gotcha. So we've got that going on, and let's see here. Let me. So this one, so I want to take this one. I want to take this for just 1 second here,
Okay.
Steve. This one was sent in from the south central parts of Missouri and Oregon County as it was crossing over into Ripley County, and that's a little bit bigger than golf ball size hail.
Probably tennis ball size right there.
I was gonna say it looks
close to it.
Absolutely, and
Man.
so that is why we have been, just preaching this hail core today, because we're gonna see a lot more coming in of these particular pictures. And as you see here on the western parts of Poplar Bluff, that is where this strongest storm is. And let me look at something real quick, because it's going to be right there on. I'm not sure if Craig is still with us or not, but I've got the camera pulled up on. If we can go side by side, maybe grab this weather cam that we've got pulled up. You can see I see a little bit of sunshine maybe off in the distance, but before we get to that sunshine, we're going to get to what Steve has pulled up on the left side of your screen, and that is that purplish color, that magenta looking color, and that's going to be possibly maybe up to quarter size hail. I haven't gotten any reports from anything else other than, well, I say that I now have an image that has just been, so I would say this is probably dime size hail that I'm looking at right here along the Stringtown area.
It's actually starting to get more intense. This core is right here. It's going to be coming over the Green Forest area here just any moment, if it's not already. Like I said earlier, some of these radar scans are somewhere between 5 to 7 minutes behind. Reasoning on that is by the time it takes to make a full sweep and then has to go through the computer, get processed, and then it gets sent out to all the locations. Now the television meteorologists have a little bit of an advantage because they have a main pipeline.
Sure.
A lot of times these radar scans, with the equipment that we've got, as far as like our level 2 and level 3 radar, sometimes we can get 2 or 3 minute sweeps. So this, I wish I could find a timestamp on this. Let me see if I can find it. That says 4:30. So that's actually pretty accurate. That's within the last minute.
So that kind of gives you, it kind of looks, you kind of see for yourself here exactly, what we're looking at here. I'm getting some video sent in too as well. So I'll make a whole new post.
This direction.
Yes, I was going to say I'll make a post here coming up very shortly about, once we're done here, about sending all your photos. We're getting a lot of good photos coming in from the hail producing storms today. Steve, if we can, let's go Let's go full screen here on your radar you've got pulled up here on the one
On
that
mine or yours?
on the one you had pulled up here for
What
just
I
a
have.
moment.
Okay. All right.
So that kind of gives you an idea of where the strongest part of the storm is. It looks like the hail threat is going to be on Shelby Road. It looks like along PP Highway. Let's see here. Getting a lot of reports coming in now, so just stay with us here. Bear with me. Getting a lot of reports to come in. I can hear thunder outside my window.
So it looks like it's going to go. Well, now look at it. It looks like it's trying to track a little southward now. We've been zoomed in. It looks like it's going to go down towards maybe down between 67 and M Highway, and then maybe further north up to well, now I've got a new arrow here that just popped up. So it looks like it's moving due east.
Got a new warning that's just popped up, so stand by for the details. All right, Steve, this is a brand new severe thunderstorm warning. Now, the same storm that we're talking about for central Butler County and southeast Missouri until 5 p.m. At 4:31, a severe storm was located near Poplar Bluff, moving east at 35 miles an hour. We are talking about winds in excess of 60 miles an hour, as well as a quarter-size hail. And a storm spotter reported quarter-size hail in Poplar Bluff. We're talking hail damages to vehicles is expected. Also, wind damage is possible to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations are going to be Poplar Bluff and Rumbar, and that is that same storm that we are watching right here on radar, Steve. And it is now
the one thing that we
in.
haven't heard much of today is wind damage.
Yes.
We've not heard much about wind damage today. It's been mainly the big part of the show today has been hail.
And speaking of the hail we're watching, I don't want to forget about our friends in the Boot Heel of Missouri, too. We've got a severe storm that is crossing over now into Dunklin County. So Piggott, Arkansas, St. Francis, Arkansas, also near Holcomb as well. We are seeing some very possibly damaging hail as well. But one thing I did want to look at here real quickly is I want to go back to, this is a great shot here, Steve. I got to take the full screen. Here is the site here from Heartland Express. And
starting to get a lot of rain now.
I was going to say that's where that storm is coming in. So you can see that on your camera or on your video, rather. That is where the storm is currently. And we're getting heavy rain. Would not surprise me at all if we get possibly some hail out of this, maybe quarter-size hail. I want to go back to Steve's feed there.
Because we actually are looking at that cell right now. So hail size is, it's over 3/4 of an inch.
So we're getting closer now to that quarter size that we were talking about a moment ago. Getting some information now from one of the storm spotters from Mr. Barry, getting pea-size hail again. This is in Poplar Bluff as well. Getting a lot of video now sent in right now in real time. From hail going on along, County Road 450, M Highway 67, and I've got Radar Omega pulled up, and you can see this is coming in right into the heart of Poplar Bluff. We're talking.
I'll take you full screen for a second.
Okay, I'll take care of that, and then so we're watching this storm, and we're also watching the very severe storm that is in northern Dunklin County right now.
Just got a message from one of my friends saying they've got nickel size now on the M Highway area.
I got that same message as well. Believe it or not, Steve, I have friends too. Believe it or not, not many, but I've
Seems
got
like
some.
We have the same friend.
I think you're right. So I'm going to look at this camera here that is north of Poplar Bluff, and I can't move it, but I bet you if we faced it more to the south, I bet you we would see a lot more of this storm that is coming in right now to Poplar Bluff. So we've got two storms that we are watching right now. One of them is about to really get into the city of Poplar Bluff. You can see here on your screen. Try to zoom in here a little bit more. So yeah, you're seeing all the towns here, all the streets rather, that's going to be seeing. I'm going to stop this here for just a minute. As soon as I get the newest update on this, Steve, I'm going to stop it here. And you can see, you got Vine Street here. You've got Walmart Supercenter, where some of that hail core looks to be coming in. So really, there it is, the new update just right over it. So I would say really in downtown is going to be where the strongest part of this storm is. Would you agree with that, Steve?
I would agree. I got a video I'm going to try to throw up here that was sent to us from one of our friends that just reported the hail.
Okay, so
Give
we'll
me a
let you
second. I'll
we'll
try
let
to
you
get
do
it
that. So if
live.
you live in downtown at Poplar Bluff, I would say you're probably seeing right now some hail, possibly between nickels and quarters. Make sure and send us some information on that. Love to see pictures coming up. We'll get, I promise you, once we're done for the evening, we'll have a post up on social media. Want to see your pictures, everything that you have. And thankfully, we don't have a lot of wind issues to deal with, at least for right now. I'm looking at, this is out of Dexter, by the way. This is what's coming at your direction, as a matter of fact. This is in looking over there going toward Highway 60 in Dexter.
Yeah, I believe that's at the 911 center in
Yes,
Dexter.
it is. And I was going to say, this is what's coming your way right now. You can see that off in the distance with the cloud cover. There's some lightning strikes as well. And this is live as it gets. So we've got a lot of things to get through. Fisk
I've got that video ready if you want to.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, let's go to your feed here, Steve, and go ahead. So there is the hail coming in. Where was this taken from again, Steve?
That come from Darren Moore. I'm not sure where that was taken at. Looks like
Gotcha.
at the PD here in Poplar
I
Bluff.
was going to say, yeah, it looks like the PD.
Let me go back to it as a still shot. I'll play it one more time.
Okay, so it
looks like it's right out their front door.
Yep, it is the PD for sure. So there is some confirmation to what we are seeing, and right now,
I think it's issued a new warning. Actually, by the way,
they did, didn't they? Who is that? Is that for Butler County? Yep.
So I'm getting us some reports from storm spotters. If you can hear that, dime size hail at the Methodist Church.
Hail. So dime size hail at the Methodist Church, and we do have that new warning popped up, and here it is. This is till 5 p.m. And this was just issued a couple of moments ago at 4:31. Severe storms were located near Poplar Bluff, moving east at 35 miles an hour. We're talking between 60 mile per hour winds and quarter size hail. Poplar Bluff and Rumbar, this storm is moving at 35 miles an hour. Steve, if you want to put a track on this storm, and we'll let our friends
grab
know.
That real quick. I was looking at the hail core. We was just talking about hail. The latest update puts it still out there on PP Highway out here, actually close to my area, 0.83 inches. So it's hanging in there for sure. Let me go back to your radar, Omega, and I'll put a track on this.
Yeah, put a track on that one. I want to go to our friends in the Boot Heel, because if you live along Highway 25, you've got some problems hail-wise coming in. Also, around Gibson down toward Holcomb is seeing some of the worst right now when it comes to potentially seeing some hail. We are seeing that if you live in Clarkton, that is going to be on your back door here coming up in the next 10 or so minutes. That is kind of the warning that we're looking at here in Northeast Arkansas, Southeast Missouri. The other warning that we're looking at, it is going right through Poplar Bluff, so it's going to be moving its way over to the Fisk area. Luckily, this storm is going to be moving out and going to miss where I live, which is good news. I'll take the rain, but the hail, I don't want to have nothing to do with that. Fisk is going to get rocked here in just a few minutes. Also Dudley, and then also in Dexter, Bloomfield is also going to be in the cross on this as well. So kind of gives you an idea of what we're looking at here as we go back to Steve's radar here. Excuse me. And what do we have? This is a new track here on this storm.
Brand new track.
Go ahead, Steve. I'm going to get a drink of water real fast, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give us
so this is the this is the storm cell that's currently moving east of the city. If you live in the Fisk area, be looking for it at about 4:55. Dudley about 5:06. Dexter coming your way about 5:19, and we just looked at the Dexter cam just a few minutes ago. If it holds together, you'll be seeing that about 5:19, and Essex about 5:28. And right now, it seems like it's holding its own.
It really is. It's really gained a lot of strength here coming in. We just got a confirmation that we did get some pea-size hail on the campus of Three Rivers College, and that came through in the last few minutes. So everywhere is starting to see, and you can see that hail core really it has strengthened, and now it's to the east of Poplar Bluff. So I think Bluff now is going to be in the safe zone. The majority of the city is. And now once we get into this,
Well, you say that, but look back here to the west. What just popped up?
Oh, well, this
Here
is.
we go
I
again.
think this one's going to miss Poplar Bluff. I think.
That's the hope, but they're moving due east. So
they are moving due east. So we're going to wait and see. We're going to.
it looks like it's trying to back build just a little bit.
It does,
because
indeed.
if you'll notice back here behind us, here's another one near Budapest.
Sure is, absolutely. So we're not out of the woods yet. We're going to stick around here for a little while longer. Hope you're okay with that. I've stopped even looking at the comments here. I apologize.
Yeah.
I wanted to. We have so much going on with brand new screens and technology. I want to make sure that we hit it all. So this is, you're looking at Clarkton. I can't wait to see some of the images coming out of this area, all the way from Campbell to Pollard, Piggott, Gibson, Holcomb, Clarkton, Gideon. Those areas are seeing impactful hail, no doubt about that. That's been, with this cluster of storms, it has been that way for hours.
Yeah, that's over a half inch right there, estimated by radar.
Absolutely. And while you're doing that, keep on that. I'm going to go ahead and I am looking at trying to get some information here from some other storms that I do have one sent to me that I'm going to get to here real fast here in just in a minute. But these are the current storms right now. Severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect. Did something else pop up there? No, that's for Northwest Tennessee. So what we have here is the hail producers in the northern parts of the Boot Heel, and then also we have a couple of hail producing storms that is in Butler County as well. And this particular image here, Steve, real quickly, is from Advance. And that was from earlier today, so confirmation.
That's a nice size piece of hail.
I was going to say that's getting pretty close now to, I would say, tennis ball size.
Maybe tennis ball, maybe a little less. I don't know. That's pretty close.
It's pretty close indeed.
That'll hurt.
It will definitely hurt indeed. So we're going to see these images coming in pretty much the rest of the evening. I'm going to go look at some other chat sites here for Memphis, because we're getting reports now of a pea-size hail north of Holcomb that came in at 4:43. So this is on the first storm that we're looking at here. So we've got some confirmation of a pea-size hail. And really, Steve, it looks like that's going to be the consensus here. A lot of places have seen pea-size hail, although I will say that we just got some information on the storm that was in Clay County, Arkansas, that storm, it grew, and we're talking about possibly up to tennis ball size hail, even larger there in Clay County, right near McDougal. And we saw that earlier with that magenta right over the heart of McDougal.
Absolutely. If you are in the Puxico and Bloomfield area, you might want to get ready. This thing has been dumping hail, various sizes, but it is traveling your direction. They just issued a new warning, Frankie, if you want to take care of that.
They sure did. Stand by for the information. A brand new severe thunderstorm warning is now in effect for northeastern Butler County. At 4:44, a severe storm was located near Fisk or near Poplar Bluff. It is moving east at 35 miles an hour. We're talking 60 mile per hour wind gust and 60 mile per hour winds and a quarter size hail. Locations in the warning area, they do include Poplar Bluff, so keep that in mind. That is a new severe thunderstorm warning, and trained weather spotters are reporting quarter size hail with this particular storm. So yes, if you live in Fisk, Dudley, Dexter, this storm is going to be coming in your direction. Let's look at the Dexter weather cam here, and you see that track Fisk. go back to real quickly, if you don't mind, Steve. Fisk, it'll be on your property coming up at 4:55. So we're talking about 9 minutes from right now. Dudley in 5:05, and then in Dexter, that's going to be around 5:17. So if we can, we'll go back to the weather camera here in Dexter. You can see off in the distance. That's what's coming your direction. Currently, it is making its way toward Fisk, and then it'll be hitting the Dudley area as well. And that is with this brand new severe thunderstorm warning that has just popped up here over in east central Butler County. And we're still watching the storms in the Boot Hill as well. It's really getting into Clarkton, Holcomb, those areas right now. Campbell is on the backside of the severe storms. I do think Dexter, Dudley, and Fisk, those areas are going to be the prime areas that we're going to see. And I know Steve has it zoomed in really well in the Boot Hill, also up toward Butler County as well. So those are the two areas that we are really watching for the potential of seeing severe storms right now in this area. Still getting just a lot of information coming in on various storms or whatnot. Trying to get confirmation. Still, Steve, to this point, don't have anything as far as wind damage is concerned. Haven't gotten anything either on hail damage either.
So it looks like on the east side of town now we're looking at some hail, a little over half of an inch, headed out towards the airport. So it is getting on out of the county, and then our folks in Fisk, Dudley, Stoddard County, Dudley, and Dexter are going to be looking at some hail probably if it holds together. Just
seen a photograph that was posted to our social media page. I appreciate that, Sean. We did get some hail at the office as well, and I think Sean has already posted that to our social media page. So thank you very much for doing that for sure. So this is kind of what we were thinking was going to happen this morning and going into this afternoon, and sure enough, this is what we are seeing. Oh, a brand new warning has just popped up as well. Yep. Stand by for details. All right, a brand new severe thunderstorm warning now has just been issued. This one for northeastern Butler County, also southwestern Stoddard County until 5:15 at 4:46. 4:48 rather. Severe storms were located over Fisk or 9 miles east of Poplar Bluff, moving east at 40 miles an hour. Weather, or I should say 60 mile per hour wind gust, as well as a quarter-size hail with these storms. Trained weather spotters, we're talking about Dexter, Bernie, Bloomfield, Fisk, Dudley, and Rumbar. Those are the areas that are going to be impacted. And if you don't mind, Steve, for just one moment, as we let you kind of zoom in and let's track these storms out in this area, I'm going to message my wife, who is working in Bloomfield, to let her know that a hailstorm is coming her way.
Probably a good idea. Remember my conversation a few minutes ago. So let me draw a new track here. With the latest information, we're going to go out. These are still moving straight east. We're going to go all the way out as far as we can go here. They're traveling at about 41 miles per hour, radar estimated. So if you look at the new track, Fisk, looking at about 3 minutes, so it's right on your doorstep if it's not already there. Dudley in about 12 minutes. Dexter, about 23 minutes. Essex, you're looking at about 5:21 p.m. And the Morehouse, 5:36. Sykeston, about 5:44. And these storms so far have really stuck together.
Yeah,
and
not much weakening that we have seen.
No, they're putting out the hail.
Yeah, they absolutely are. Whoops. All right, so I'm not sure what I did there. There we go. I pushed the wrong button on my end. So there you go. I'm going to check. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check and see from the Weather Service office. One thing that we're doing very well is we're communicating. Let's see here. So this storm, this is coming in from the Boot Hill. This is Clay County, Arkansas, and Dunklin. They're going to continue that warning for those areas. Also, let's see here. So at the current pace, when this warning, they did go ahead and keep it going, but once it expires coming up, they are not planning on reissuing it. They did issue a special weather statement, and that is for that storm out ahead of where we are looking at right here. So that's some good news there in the boot heel. It's going to turn into, it looks like it's weakening somewhat. We're not seeing the hail nearly as good as we did a few moments ago, Steve.
And not seeing it as big as a few minutes ago either.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Just the biggest storm right now that we're watching is going to be in the Fisk area, Dudley area. I want to go to the weather cam here in Dexter, and starting to get pretty dark now over there. And you can see that
got a little bit of rain on the cam.
Yep, a little bit of rain on the cam. The wind, though, from what we're seeing, not blowing all that hard.
No, not terribly at all. So I've got, if you want to take my screen, I've got another hail size estimate here. This is traveling right along 60 highway, 60 east, looking at almost 3/4 of an inch. So definitely for sure, if you're in the Fisk area, get ready.
I was going to say, yeah, that's going to be closer to the Fisk area. And that's that same storm that we had the weather camera pulled up for the Dexter area a moment ago.
Absolutely. Yeah. So there's a very, very good chance that you're going to see some hail out of this storm. It may not be as big as what we've been getting, and it seems like it's staying pretty consistent though.
It really has. And these storms really haven't weakened a whole lot, maybe a little bit, but as we were talking on the air a little bit ago, that storm that hit Poplar Bluff, it blew up right when it got to the west of the county, and that's when we saw the hail going right through town.
Absolutely.
So I want to say real quickly, if you don't mind, Steve, I just made a post on social media about let's submit all your videos, your pictures. Submit those on our Facebook page. We just made a post right now on social media. Do that for us, and that really helps us tell the story of where all of the severe weather was and whatnot. So if you would be so kind to do that, that would be awesome. We really appreciate that.
Absolutely. If you'll notice, the storms that are going south of us, they've all formed a line now, all the way from Paducah back down to the Boot Hill.
They sure have.
Let me put a velocity scan on that and see if there's any wind in those now since they've joined up. So a lot of times you will see some wind when they join together. You'll see a lot of bow echoes. I'm not sure
what just happened there, so I apologize for that. I'm not sure why my screens did that, but it did.
All right, let's take mine real quick.
Yeah, take yours, yeah.
So this is the velocity scan of the storms. There's no rotation anywhere that I can see. Of course, we haven't, like we talked about earlier, we haven't seen or heard of any wind damage anywhere. There's no couplets to be seen anywhere. Let me go back to the actual radar, and I'll show you what we were talking about. So we've got a line that's formed, and this line is going to probably continue. I would be willing to bet that there's going to be some wind in some of this as it forms a line together.
I was going to say, yeah, earlier we didn't have that, but now they're starting to merge together, which means I think the hail threat goes down. Maybe the wind threat goes up a little bit.
That's what I was thinking. You got this line right through here. This is all basically just traveling due east.
So while you're doing that, I'm just looking at weather service information coming in as well. And it looks like the hail threat, from what they're saying, possibly is going to persist with the storm that's moving into Stoddard County. They're looking at that very carefully. They issued that warning because of the potential of seeing up to a quarter-size hail with that storm.
Absolutely. If you look at all the lightning strikes, that's a good indication that there's going to be hail.
So I will say this, and you probably are seeing that as well. I did not mean to do that, but I'm glad that I did because I wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure that my screens were still working. It looks like that working. Maybe from Dudley down to on the northern side of Campbell, we've got a line of storms starting to try to develop, which means if you live in Bernie, you might be getting something here in the next few minutes. Nothing severe right now, but just keep that in mind. I want to look at.
Looks like that warning that they issued earlier that we talked about, it actually is right there at the Bernie. I don't know if it covers Bernie proper or not, but it's right there at it.
So I've got the weather cam pulled up here in Dexter, and still I haven't seen any lightning flashes as of yet. A little bit of rain. You were talking about lightning a minute ago. I haven't seen any on this camera just yet. However, as that storm continues to make its way in to the area, we could see some of that coming in very shortly, I would imagine.
Say with the amount of hail that we've been seeing, there's probably a lot of cloud to cloud lightning. You're not going to see that.
Absolutely. Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
atmospheric.
So the Weather Service did issue a special weather statement. This is north or just south of Campbell, rather. You can see that you want to pull that up on one of your radars. Steve, go on ahead. The storm that is just to the west of Clarkton looks like it has gotten a little bit stronger. Looks like we're talking maybe hail, maybe around an inch possible with that storm.
This is the last estimate that we had. Some of the estimates are behind, obviously. They're not going to be real time. But this is what it's leaving behind, estimated. That's over a half inch. And you'll see that's moving, this arrow right here showing that it's moving east, northeast. And the last track I did, I believe it was around 40 miles per hour.
40 miles an hour.
So they've kind of sped up a little bit as well.
Just a little bit, but it looks like that. Hopefully, fingers crossed. We don't have anything back building now, not severe wise. So I'm still going to hold. Now there is some storms now. I do want to reiterate there is a little bit of storm activity that is going to be passing up in just past Elsinore. Now Williamsville, Lake Wapapello, those areas are definitely seeing a little bit of storms. However, I don't believe that we're going to have anything severe-wise in those areas the rest of today. I think that that ship has possibly sailed. So that's some good news. But nevertheless, it is something that we're watching very carefully.
If there's anybody listening in the Dudley area, get ready. It's coming your way. It looks like it could be going south of Dudley, but it might hit, what do we got here? TT Highway. It may come down TT Highway, County Road 624. If you're in that area of Dudley.
642, it looks like, too, there, Steve. Around ZZ and TT and those areas.
Yep.
So
it's going to go right down between the two of them, it looks like.
It looks like it for sure. And I tell you what, if getting some information, during our severe weather coverages, both Steve and myself, our phones go crazy.
They blow up.
They absolutely do. So I'm actually getting some reports now, or talking to one of the folks over in the Dexter area right now.
So while you're doing that, I will look at we're going to look at a broad view of things, kind of see how it's clearing back off to our west.
Sure.
So we're about to be clear of all this stuff. If you're in the so Carter and Ripley counties, you guys are good for the rest of the night.
Absolutely.
I don't see any further development back to the west. Butler County, as soon as we get this out of the county, we're going to be good here. Wayne County looks pretty good. It may skirt the Butler Wayne line. So far, like we said earlier, there's not been any wind damage or any reports of heavy winds with these storms. It's mainly been hail.
So I'm looking at some of the latest information coming in, and so getting some updates.
Trying to see some of these hail markers.
Getting some reports from Holcomb right now that are talking about. So yeah, Holcomb was seeing some very strong hail earlier, or very heavy hail a little bit ago, possibly a little bit bigger than pea size from what I'm gathering. Also getting, I think pea size is kind of the common consensus. Thank you, Miss Kathy. She is also letting us know along Highway 51 north of 60 Highway, they're getting some pea size hail right now as well.
your history of hail, um, you can kind of see how it's morphed from small to large, and the areas have kind of morphed a little bit, but it has been consistently dropping.
Yes, and that's the really good news too. Let's see here.
Looks like the folks in Corning, Piggott, all you guys are in the clear down there.
Yes.
Nothing developing back to your west.
Pea-size hail on Green Forest off of Miller Road. We've got that.
Okay.
Dexter, Patty's asking about Dexter. And I do want to stop for 1 second and apologize for all the comments that we've missed. This is our first live stream together. The audio and the video looks great, but for some reason, the questions I can't see on my end. Hopefully, I'll figure that out by the next time. Assuming that Steve still wants to do it next time. He may not. You never know.
I'm attempting to kind of keep an eye on comments as well, but like you said,
there's so many going at one time. So let's see here. Dexter, yes, I'm going to go back to something here real quick. Steve, you can do what you're doing. And
I was just taking a look at these storms that were exiting northern Butler. I'm going to be going into the Wapapella, Puxico area.
So it looks like, from what I'm seeing here, at least from my vantage point here, on one side, you got the radar showing Dudley going into Dexter. On the other side, you got the weather cam pulled up. It looks like, from what I'm seeing, that I don't want to jinx it, but it looks like these storms are starting to weaken somewhat. I'm not seeing not seeing the strong cores anymore that we did see. Just seeing the little bit of hail core, but the Weather Service has already said that they are talking about potentially not reissuing this warning coming out of Stoddard County as well.
Yep. Looking at some of these comments, I had somebody asking about Puxico. Puxico, I mean, you're going to probably see a little bit of hail. I'm not looking for you to have anything severe that direction. It looks like it's trying to weaken a little bit actually as it goes that way. Let me stop this and take a look here, the Puxico area. So these storms are still moving east, mostly east, with maybe just a little bit of a northerly cant to them. But so Puxico, you might get away with little of nothing, some rain.
I was going to say rain. Yeah, I'm thinking rain. And then even looking back to the south around Tallapoosa, Gideon, Clarkton right now, they're seeing the last bit of severe storms for the evening, and then this should be gone. Now, I will tell you that tomorrow we might see a little bit more storms coming in, possibly. I'm not expecting severe weather tomorrow or on Saturday as well.
Absolutely.
This was a really good test run.
Yeah, this time of year, there's always a good chance for pop-ups.
Oh, absolutely. And the Weather Service, right on cue, they have issued, instead of continuing the warning, they have now just issued a special weather statement. So that's in line to what we were just talking about. So really all we have left is just the one warning now that's in Stoddard County. And I want to look at the Dexter cam again, and there it is.
You can kind of see it. Yep.
You can kind of see it coming in, and not dismissing it at all, but it doesn't look as ominous as it did a few minutes ago, which is really good news.
They kind of got the energy knocked out of it, I guess, as it come across.
So, Steve, anything that before we end our first live stream, what do you think? I mean, I think it went pretty well for the most part.
I think it was smooth. Yeah,
a little bugs to work out.
That I know I think we can get fixed before the next time.
I think so too. I'm very excited for the new collaboration. Before we end our video, make sure and come out Monday night to the Rogers Theater, because starting at 5:00, we're going to have a panel of severe weather response team. I will be there as well.
I was told that Justin Gibbs was going to be there from Paducah.
And Justin Gibbs will be there from Paducah as well, from the Weather Service office. It'll be interesting to kind of hear his take on what we're doing here. I mean, I've done the severe weather coverage for a long time. I know that the Poplar Bluff Severe Weather Response Team, you guys have showed weather cams and radars and did a little bit of commentary, but it's nice to just put it all together.
That's right. Put all of our eggs in one basket and just let her go.
This is what we're doing now. So hopefully you have enjoyed the live stream. And Steve, do you think we should stay on, or are you comfortable with ending our first live stream?
Well, it's up to you. I'm looking at, let me take my screen really quick,
Take
full
your
screen. Still got some intense cells right here exiting Butler County. Now, I don't think that if the Weather Service is confident they're not going to issue warnings on them, that I'm not worried about them, but it does look like they still could get a little bit of hail out of it. It may not be to severe levels, pea size or something like that, but I think that so sure as I said, that is issued. What they issue?
Was that a?
That is a meso discussion.
That's a meso.
I bet you're going to do a watch on east of us.
Yep, I was going to say it looks like they're going to issue a watch a little further down the road.
Let's see how big that area is. That's a pretty good area.
I got it. Well, hang on a second. As we say that, got a
new watch notification.
Nope, we've got looks like a new severe thunderstorm warning.
They sure did.
Well, Steve, I'm not able to pull that up for some reason. You want to pull that up? I'm not able to I'm not able to pull it up.
Expires in 7 minutes.
Everything that I have is the old. That's the old.
That's the old one as well.
That's the old one. Yeah, I don't have it.
It came across my my data sources, but it didn't pop up on radar yet.
So let me see here. It's not popped up on radar, but it's going to be for the very northern fringe of Butler County. It'll be for southern Wayne County, very southern tip of Wayne County. Also, the northeastern part of Butler, central Stoddard County until 5:30. At 5:06, a severe storm was located near Wapapello or near the state park, moving east at 45 miles an hour, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and quarter-size hail is what is being reported, which would be right here in this area that we are seeing. It's going to be just to the west of Puxico.
So let's look at Puxico really quick. I've got them pulled up.
Yeah, get that pulled up.
That's a Puxico cam.
Bloomfield, Puxico, Rumbar, and Wapapello are all going to be in the path of this severe storm. So that is that same cluster that we were looking at. And at least by radar estimations, the hail threat has really seemed to, I don't want to say diminished 100%, but it has went down considerably, considering that we had those magenta colors a few moments ago.
Correction. I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think that this is definitely not what we've seen earlier in the day, for sure. So you guys in the Puxico, Bloomfield, Essex, Dexter area. So let's take one more look at Dexter. It doesn't look terrible. Looks like they're just now starting to get some heavier rain than a few minutes ago.
And that's that
Still
storm.
don't see a lot of wind.
Yeah, I was going to say, not a lot of wind. The camera is nice and steady. So the biggest problem, the biggest threat is going to be from about Puxico down toward Dudley and then moving over to the Dexter area. But once again, we do not have, at least for now, we don't have, I'm going to look at, while you're doing the radars there, I'm going to look at something here and I'm going to see if.
Got a report of tiny pieces of hail from Jennifer Rice, Hampton in the Dexter area. So that's probably the sizes of the hail is getting smaller as it moves east.
It really, yes, absolutely. And let's see here, looking for Paducah and may have, there's a
starting
lot.
to get reports of thunder also in Puxico. So that tracks.
Mm-hmm. So nothing, the Weather Service hasn't commented on the storms there this issued on between Puxico and Dudley. So it's got to be just because of the, they're still weakening, but maybe not underneath the severe weather thresholds yet.
Correct. And if you'll notice on my screen, I'll take it full for a second. Look at the temperature, 59.6 in Poplar Bluff, and it raised 1 point there, but my saying that it's cooling off behind this, so that's going to kill off any other further development.
Yes.
Let's go to Essex and look at their temperature is 62.8.
Yeah, so it's definitely, the temperature has definitely gone down quite a bit, and it's going to choke off any potential for severe weather. And this is down in the boot heel. Or no, I'm sorry.
That was actually over out of our viewing area.
Yeah,
I was just
gonna
looking
say.
at basically temperatures. I was trying to get a reference on temperatures.
Gotcha. So that's what we have right here. And I tell you what, Steve, I'm comfortable with going ahead and
Yeah,
you know,
I think so.
I think we're good. We do have the one warning that's in effect. And other than that, and I say the one warning that's in effect right now, we'll go back to it real quickly. And it's between severe thunderstorm warning. It's going to be moving into the Dudley's, already in Dudley, moving in the Dexter, Bloomfield area. We're talking maybe pea-size hail. I know it says quarter-size hail. Nothing that I'm seeing on radar.
Yeah, we're not seeing that. As a matter of fact, if you look at the hail here, it's going down.
Let's go to
Let's
go to
put a
your
gauge
feed
on
here.
it.
Yeah, there's your. So you can tell by this screen here, that tells you all you need to know. We were seeing hail sizes above an inch, around 3/4 of an inch, and now we're sitting below a half inch, which is below severe weather criteria. So
that's correct.
That's what we're seeing right now. And I tell you what, I'm comfortable with everything that we have done here today. And I think that we have
test run.
a good test run indeed. And thank you again for tuning in this afternoon. This will conclude our severe weather coverage. He is Steve C. Wright, co-director of the Poplar Bluff Severe Weather Response Team. I'm Frankie Castillo, program director for today's talk, KWOC. Our sponsor has been PB Realty, Legacy Farm and Land Specialist. Until next time, make sure and share our post, and we'll be back next time with severe weather coverage live right here on Facebook and YouTube on today's talk, KWOC. God bless you and good afternoon.